When the live stream flickers on and Sweet Pea takes a stand, Lynn is already there, coffee in hand. She settles in for the long trials, the twists and the turns, with a loyal heart and steady eyes that never miss a word. She's a constant in the courtroom, a familiar shining face, always ready for the arguments, the tension and the pace. And when the evidence is messy or the stories sound untrue, she leans forward just a little. Lynn knows what to do, 'cause Lynn thinks everyone is guilty, every suspect, every tale. Melody Fair is guilty, she says without fail, but Dr. Rachel shakes her head. Sure, the son is to blame, still Lynn stands firm, her verdict stays the same. Oh, she brings the truth with a calm, steady light, and her presence is a comfort on every trial night. She listens with devotion through each objection and plea, through the cross-exams and pauses. She's where she needs to be, in the sea of courtroom chaos where tempers sometimes flare. Lynn remains unshaken, a voice of reason there. And though the check may chatter and the theories may divide, Lynn's perspective never wavers. She speaks with honest pride. She keeps the room grounded when emotions run loose, a quiet force reminding us she's here to find the truth. Yes, Lynn thinks everyone is guilty, that's just her way. From the first opening statement to the end of the day, Dr. Rachel can argue the son's the one at fault, but Lynn won't budge. She's rendered her final thought. We appreciate her always for her loyalty and her proof, 'cause the judge shines a little brighter when Lynn brings the truth.
From the surf in San Diego to the courtroom stream, SD walks in like she owns the scene. Pelo multicolor shining in the sun. She cracks one joke, chat laughing as one. She throws preguntas bien chidas, sharp like a blade. Cross-exam queen, nunca tiene afraid. And that then so spicy, Cali Mystics close. She brings the fuego, everybody knows. Cuando Jason llega, ay caray, she flirts poquito. He just says hi, sweet pea laughs. Aquí vamos otra vez, SD drops the fuego and the chat says yes. She's fuego, fuego, lighting up the show. Tex-Mex in the chat, everybody knows. Con su risa, su vibra y su pelo tan cool, she turns the live stream to a cumbia at the pool. Fuego, fuego, Esti's the queen. Spanglish magic en la chat screen. When she pops on camera, we all say que show. Latina sparkle with that California glow. Los mos la quieren, they hype her name. She adds flair y sabor to the game. ¿Qué onda, gente? And here comes the fun. El chat se enciende like under the sun. When she teases Jason, boy, behave. But without a chaos, this chat ain't the same. Bailalo, mija, with your Tex-Mex vibe. Bring the cumbia flow, keep it alive. Stay with the groove, don't ever stop. Shake up the stream till we're all on top. She's fuego, fuego. Let her up the show. Tex-Mex in the chat, everybody knows. Con su risa, su vibra y su pelo tan cool, she turns a live stream to a Latin dance floor. Fuego, fuego, Esti's the queen. Spanglish magic en la chat screen. Beach girl sparkle, courtroom delight. Esti keeps the chat shining bright. Sweet pea, the mods, we all agree. Take it to trial, ain't the same without Esti.
Now I just figured I'd play us some songs where I was trying to get this together. I tried to put it in like a little playlist for us. So let's see. Let's see how this turns out, guys. I don't know. Oh man. Yeah, okay. Let me see. How do I do this? Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me see. View. Pause. Okay. So it looked like we got 1, 2, maybe 2.5, 3 hours worth for coverage. I hate the way they did this, but whatever. We got to work with what we got. Okay, let's see. So the first person's testimony that we'll be looking at is, I believe this is going to be Kevin West's dad. Right, okay. See, that's what I can't tell. I can't tell if the state has rest. Hey, lady, how you doing? I can't tell if the state has rested on this or not. Because a lot of these witnesses that I'm now seeing, they look like they probably defense witnesses. But I'll see if I can find out some more information about it to see where they're kind of at. But let's go ahead and get into his testimony. So do you think that the state is still calling these people? Leon, you say you're not sure. You say you don't know. I'm going to see if I can research some stuff on it to see. But let's go ahead and listen to Dad's testimony.
Now that you see this, please state your name in full and spell your last name for the court's record.
Dennis Sidney West, W-E-S-T.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Good morning, Mr. West.
Good morning.
Do you know Kevin?
Okay, so that means that they're in the defense case because I see the defense is questioning him first. This part is the defense case. Okay. Let me go ahead and update the banner. Sorry. Edit. I'll figure out his name in a minute.
West?
Yes, I do.
And how do you know him?
He is my son.
Is that him sitting right there?
That is him sitting there.
Mr. West, where did you live when Mr. West was born?
In Eugene, Oregon.
And that's where kids are born and raised?
Yes.
And who were you married to at the time?
Lori Wollenweber.
And that's her name now?
That's her name now, is Lori Jensen, then Lori West.
All right. And so you lived in Eugene. When did you start living in Eugene?
1960, I was brought from Cody, Wyoming with my parents.
And then you got married to Lori, had kids?
Correct.
And how long did you stay in Eugene?
Till 1989.
What happened?
We divorced Lori, and then decided to travel across the country. I was a critical care RN, and I wanted to work elsewhere and see what life was like.
Okay. And so, where did you end up living after that? Or where do you live now?
I live in Bend, Oregon right now.
And over the years, now sounds like you've been gone for a number of years, right?
Correct.
Have you maintained contact with Kevin?
Yes, frequently.
How do you have contact?
Well, phone, we go hunting, fishing, of course, talking on the phone all the time regarding just about anything and everything. It's, we just have got a very close relationship.
Do you, you know who Marcy is?
Yes, I do.
When did you first meet Marcy?
I met Marcy in 2000.
And what were the circumstances?
I was getting married to my wife, we are now divorced. Gay. Her name was Gay, Gay.
All right, and so Marcy came to your wedding?
Yes,
And how was she introduced to you at the time?
just Marcy. This is Marcy.
Okay, what was the relationship to Kevin at the time?
I believe that they were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time.
Okay. Did you go to their wedding?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember when that was roughly?
Well, it was quite a few years ago. I know it was in the spring, I believe.
And now, you're where they got married, they had kids.
Yes,
Do you know who the kids are?
yes.
Who are they?
Ted and Megan.
Have you had a lot of contact?
Oh, yeah, they're my dreams.
And so, were you familiar with the house they lived in last, the Washougal house?
Yes, very familiar.
How many times have you been there?
I couldn't tell you how many. I've frequent a lot.
Did you, over the years, did you get to know Marcy very well?
Yes, I did.
Okay, were you close?
She'd always give me a hug when I left or when I arrived, and come anytime.
And so when you would go to their house, would you stay overnight?
Yes, I would.
Do you know about when they moved into that house?
Oh, I can't remember.
How many years do you think they lived there? Let's try that.
I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 years.
Okay, so maybe in your recollection, you moved in there about 2017, 2018, something like
Yeah,
that?
somewhere.
And how often would you stay overnight?
Usually I would stay there for 2 or 3 days. Drive back and forth from Bend was long. So usually come over on the Friday, go home Sunday.
And from the time they moved there till the time they moved out, you, I think I asked you how often you stayed there. You described the length. Did you stay once a year, twice a year? How many times a year did you stay?
Multiple times. Usually whenever I went hunting, I would stay there, and we went hunting every year together. Be 2 or 3 nights sometimes.
Okay. So, and again, would it be like every month, every other month? What do you think?
Usually at least once or twice a month I'd be there.
Okay. For a couple nights each time?
Correct.
When was the last time you stayed there? I mean, before Marcy passed.
Okay. It would have been in probably September, just before we went hunting, or before we're going to go.
September 2023?
Right.
Were you able to observe, I guess, kind of the nature of their relationship?
Yes, it had become a little not as open and everything. Kevin would try and give her kisses on the cheek, but she did that most of their married life. She didn't like outward motion at all. She just didn't. That was her demeanor. But sometimes we would leave without saying goodbye. We just said it's okay that she's doing her thing. And she'd be looking, 9 times out of 10, she loved the computer and would be watching what the kids were doing, their schoolwork, what they had plans. She was a hell of a planner. I mean, she knew exactly what was going on with Megan and Ted.
Now, this relationship, like you said, it wasn't as open. How would you, was it a good, I mean, how would you describe it? Is that a good relationship or not?
It was congenial. It was no, I never saw him having a fight in front of me. I did The only thing I did notice that there wasn't as much touching. But then again, when I did notice the touching, it caught my eye and I thought, oh, that's great, you know. But we go out on the deck and all three of us, including the kids, are just sitting in it, mostly in the summer, of course. After working in the yard, have a beer or she would always have her Pepsi. She loved Pepsi. And we just sit there and talk for a while.
Now, the last time you stayed there, where did you sleep?
I always slept in the guest room,
You were
which is right across from their room.
So you go up the
Go up
hallway.
go up the stairways, and that was the first bedroom on the right.
And would you be aware of where they slept?
Oh, yes.
And where did they sleep?
Directly across from that bedroom. They always had their door cracked about this much, made basically for animals to come and go.
All right. And so, were you ever aware of a time when you were there where they were not sleeping in the same room?
No.
How did you hear about Marcy passing?
I got a call from Kevin Valines at 7:30 in the morning on the day she passed, which was the 8th, if my numbers are right. And he told me that, don't know what happened, that she had a seizure in bed, that Kevin,
Objection, hearsay.
Staying. So Kevin Valines called you up about 7:30 in the morning and told you.
and told me, correct.
And you knew Kevin Valines?
Yes, I did.
How did you know him?
We went hunting every year, hiked into the wilderness area up east of town, and we went to Idaho for 2 weeks, about every 2 years for 13, 14, 15 years.
Oh, okay. And friends of Kevin's, I take it.
Yes.
And besides you and Kevin and other Kevin, who else would go if anybody?
To hunting?
Yeah.
Oh, Scotty would go. We had a tremendous relationship with all of us enjoying and hunting. And we'd hike together into the woods, into the, the mountains of Idaho. So we did it together. We enjoyed each other's company very much.
When, I'm going to kind of go back just a little bit. In the time you've known Kevin, we all kind of know our kids. Was he kind of a messy kid, a tidy kid? How would you describe him?
Objection, relevance.
Staying.
When you went to the house, did you eat there?
Yes,
Who cooked?
Kevin,
Every time?
every time.
Did you see anybody cleaning in the house?
Yes,
Who did the cleaning?
Kevin.
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
Let the answer stand.
So you get the notice from Kevin Valines. Where were you at the time?
With Kevin Valines?
No, when Kevin called you.
I was in Bend, Oregon.
Okay. And did you have any contact with your son Kevin that day?
Yes, I called Kevin on his phone. I talked to Scotty, who was driving Kevin to get his daughter. And he said he wasn't able to
Objection,
talk.
hearsay.
I'll leave the answer to stand now, but don't relate things that other people said.
Okay,
So you said that he was on his way to Seattle, is that what you're saying?
yes.
Okay. And how was he on the phone? How was he emotionally? Describe his emotions.
Basically, crying, distraught. I can't talk. And I said, okay, I'll call you later.
Did you see him like that before?
No, not like that.
So you had the phone call with him, and what did you do after that? I mean, with regard to Kevin and the situation, what did you do after that?
Well, I contemplated whether or not I was going to drive up there. I knew that there were some storms coming in and I have to be careful. I believe it was about 1 o'clock. I decided I was going to drive to see Kevin. And I took off to Washougal, went over Santiam down through Detroit, and then Salem and up. And got to Kevin's about 7:30 because I had some truck trouble and kind of limped into his house about 7:30 that night.
Okay. And So you get there, how was he when you got there at 7:30 that night?
He really, all he wanted to do was hug first and cry.
And was it steady like that, or did it go up and down? How can you describe his range of
It kind of was up and down depending on what we talk about regarding their relationship, Marcy, myself, hunting, trying to get him to get his mind off what had occurred, which was very difficult. Basically, just trying to keep him comfortable and calm. But he cried a lot.
Did he have moments where he'd smile?
Not a lot.
What were the moments?
There were a few moments.
Now, when you're at the house that first day, did anybody else come by the house that you recall?
Well, I got there late, and there was no one else that showed up that night that I know of.
Okay. Where did you spend most of your time with Kevin and the family when you got there?
Of course, we took my stuff up to my bedroom. Ted always helped to do that. Then we basically went out into our fun area and sat and talked.
The fun area
It
being,
would, fun area be in the garage, in which Kevin and I helped, and which I helped him build. It's kind of what you classify as the man cave of today. But Marcy enjoyed being out there with us and sitting with us. It was just we had all of our deer heads out there. For those people that don't like deer heads, I'm sorry, but we do. And we had that's where we had our cocktails and where we drank, where we had Pepsi, where we had water.
So, sustain the objection. The question's been answered.
thank you.
Listen to the question asked, answer that question, wait for the next question.
Are you familiar with a deer with a bottle opener?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you know about that?
All I know is that he got it. It was in his room. He looked at it and he said, "Look what I got for our bottle opener." Never used it.
Just kind of a joke.
Sure.
Now, how long did you stay when you came up?
At that time,
Yes.
I stayed most of the month with Kevin. What day I left was after the ice storm, sometime 4 or 5 days after the ice storm.
While you were there, was there any discussion on what would happen to the bedroom furniture?
None.
Are you aware of the bedroom furniture leaving while you're there?
No.
What about any of the bedding, like sheets, comforters, something like that? Are you aware of anything happening with that?
Yes, I am very aware. For a couple of days, he complained about he can't be up there and laying on that anymore. Well, finally, I got tired of hearing that. I went up, folded it all up, put it in a black plastic bag, and threw it in the garbage.
Okay, so when you say you gathered it all up, what is it? What did you put in the garbage?
I put in a quill. I folded it. I like to make sure the air's out of it, and I folded it like I would fold my sleeping bag. And so it fit into the garbage bag, and so it fit into the garbage outside. And then I tied it up, put it in the garbage. And that's about it. I mean, there was nothing outstanding about it.
Was it clean when you saw it?
Yes, it was.
Like somebody had washed it?
No.
Now, so you're there till, you say, after the ice storm or before the ice storm?
No, after.
After. So were you there when the family gathered for some kind of event around the 18th or later?
I was.
What was that?
That was we wanted to celebrate Kevin, his birthday. And I believe it was a couple days after the 18th. I believe I said it was the 18th that his birthday was on, and we had the party then, but I believe I was wrong on the dates. Like I've been wrong on a couple of them. But no, it was basically the family wanting to celebrate Kevin. It wasn't for everybody in the world. It wasn't for the firemen. It wasn't for anybody. It was just for our family.
Okay, just kind of your immediate family for the most part.
Correct.
And what was the mood like at this gathering?
It was solemn at first, and then once people started talking, we'd start remembering past things that we did. Ted and Megan fishing, or Ted going hunting, all of us sitting in the back, them going camping at the coast. And basically tried to do everything we could to keep it on something enjoyable in life.
Do you know who Cynthia Ward is?
I do now, yes.
Okay. When did you first become aware of her?
On the night of the gathering of the family.
You had not seen her before?
I couldn't pick her out of the lineup.
Had you heard about her before?
No, I had not.
And what's your recollection? How was she introduced to the group, if you recall?
Well, it really wasn't to the group. It was individual. And that's all it was for me, was just, hi, I'm Cynthia. I said, okay, I'm Dennis. I'm his dad.
Do you know why she was there?
I was told she was invited. And that's all I knew, why she was there.
It was kind of a gathering for close family, just a small
Right.
group.
Objection leading.
Finish the question.
It's just kind of a gathering for immediate family. Did you wonder why she was there?
Overrule the objection.
I did not know why she was initially until I was told that it was Kevin's girlfriend.
How did you find out?
And just general circulation of communication, people talking. No one specifically that I can remember.
Did you ever talk to Kevin about that?
After the fact, probably the next day.
Did he try to hide it from you?
No.
All right, that's all the questions I have. Just hold on right there. And see if we'll have time.
Good morning, Mr. West.
Hello.
You indicated on direct examination that you stayed there for the majority of the month, is that correct?
Most of January.
What day would you have arrived? You would have arrived on January 8th then, correct, around 7 p.m.?
Correct.
And most of the month of January, from the 8th, you were there then also then on the 21st, when the 20th, when this gathering would have happened. And this gathering that would have been at the garage where Cynthia was there, but none of Kevin's other friends was there, correct?
Correct.
And you drove up from Eugene, correct?
Correct.
And at the time in 2024, are you retired?
I am now. Yes, I was.
And you drove up your personal vehicle?
Correct.
And you don't have to give me too many details, but what's the make and model of your vehicle?
It's an F-150, F-150, Lariat, 4-door truck.
Were you were still at the house then on the 23rd?
Well, I believe I was, yes.
And you were then still at the house on the 31st?
That I don't remember.
Were you there when Detective Dean Tellison and Detective Zapata were there interviewing your son?
I don't ever remember seeing them. I couldn't pick them out of a lineup.
So you don't recall seeing them on the 23rd then of January?
No, I don't.
And the West residence, it's 4-bedroom, correct? There's Ted's room, correct?
There's Ted's room,
Megan's room?
Megan's room, their room.
And then
Guest
there's like a
room.
multimedia room.
There's a guest room and a multimedia that is also used for other people to sleep.
And so when you would go and stay there, you even called it your room. There's a specific place that you would go and you would sleep.
Of course.
And so if everyone was there occupying the house, they would all be in their respective bedrooms, more than likely.
More than likely.
Thank you, no further questions.
Redirect,
No redirect.
get a witness to excuse.
Are we going to check the clerks?
You're free to go, don't discuss your testimony with any other potential witness.
My name is Megan Kathleen West. It's W-E-S-T.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Hey, Brian. Good afternoon, Megan.
Hi.
It's okay if I call you Megan?
Yes.
Megan, do you know Kevin West?
Yes.
Who is he?
He's my father.
Is that him sitting right there?
Yes.
Just a little bit of background information on you. Where do you currently live?
I live in La Center, Washington.
How long have you lived there?
Maybe a few weeks. Not long.
And before that, where were you?
Vancouver, Washington.
Was there a time when you were living in Seattle?
Yes, there was.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Can you describe that?
I was living in Seattle while I was attending the University of Washington.
Now, you've talked to your brother Ted already. I understand he's your brother, correct?
Yes.
And your mother was Marcy West.
Yes.
So this the daughter that's currently on the stand, guys, just so y'all aware of Marcy and Kevin West. She's being called by the defense, and we just heard dad that was called by the defense, and now we're hearing from daughter who's also being called by the defense. I don't know why the state didn't call them, but let's see what she has to say in regards to her dad and mom. She looked just like her mom.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Washougal, Washington.
Did you go through the whole school system here?
What was that?
Did you go through the whole school system here?
Yes, through high school.
And then after high school, what did you do?
I went to University of Washington for one academic year.
Now, in Washougal, the last house you lived with your family, where is that located?
Do you want the address?
If you know it.
2573 34th Street.
And do you recall roughly when you moved in?
It was right before my freshman year of high school.
Now, growing up with your family, your parents, were you able to kind of get an idea what kind of relationship they had for the most part?
Yes.
What was it like?
It was a loving, caring relationship. They cared about each other very much. Yes, they had disagreements like all couples do, but overall it was very loving.
So as far as the disagreements, did you see fights?
Like physical,
Well,
like
any kind of fight.
they would occasionally raise their voices at each other. My mom would sometimes get angry and throw something, but that was really it.
Was there ever any physical fights between you?
No.
Now, were you kind of aware of your mother's habits as far as exercise and so on goes?
Yes.
What was it like?
She mostly just did walking occasionally.
Anything else?
No,
How was her eating habits?
they weren't great.
Are you kind of focused on eating habits yourself?
Yes.
All right. And so how would you characterize her way of eating, her style of eating?
She didn't always choose the healthiest food options. She drank soda a lot instead of water. A lot of processed foods. She occasionally did try keto diet, but it never really stuck.
Okay. Did she ever complain about any physical pain or ailments?
Yes, headaches.
Like how often?
They would pretty much be every day, every other day.
Let's talk about just about a year or so before she passed.
Okay.
Were you living at home during that year?
The year before she passed, majority I was in Seattle most of the time, but I would come home frequently.
Okay. On the weekends or holidays or something like that?
Holidays, weekends, I had a very open, academic schedule, so I was able to take the train probably every other week.
Okay. Well, let's talk about before that. Let's say the year before you moved, just would have been probably your senior year in high school?
Yes.
And did she have that kind of an ailment at that time?
Ailment like the headache?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
And what would she do for those headaches?
She would take large amounts of ibuprofen.
Did she carry them with her?
Yeah, she had a Costco-sized bottle of ibuprofen with her at all times in her purse.
This, in your recollection, you say this was frequent. How frequent?
The headaches?
Yeah.
Every day. Like she complained almost every day of
Okay,
headaches.
okay. And so let's talk about the last year, before she passed. You said you were living up in Seattle, is that right?
Yes,
Living in one of the dorms?
yes. Older Hall.
You lived in Alderham. And so you went up there probably at the end of August or something like that?
Yes, that's around that time.
Okay, this would have been 2023, am I right?
Yes, 23.
Yeah, but before that, you lived at home.
Yes.
Did she ever complain about any other physical ailment that you could recall that she would say, I'm experiencing this right now?
Muscle aches, particularly in her neck and her feet.
But now the headaches you're talking about, when you would come back starting in the fall, you went up there in late August. And then how often did you come back that first semester? Because she passed at the end of your first semester, didn't she?
It was the beginning of second.
Beginning of second. Okay,
Yes.
so we're just talking about that one semester. How often did you come back?
I would come back probably twice, maybe 3 times a month.
More at the beginning than the end?
Yes.
Okay, homesick.
Yes.
And so, so when you came back on those weekends, did you see her at the house?
Yes.
And was she having the same kind of problems?
Yes, she was.
To your knowledge, did she go to the doctor about these problems?
No.
Were you close to your mother?
Yes, I was.
Close to your dad too?
Yes.
And so, when they would have these fights, was it ever over finances?
Yes.
Just a little bit, or was that kind of a big subject?
It wasn't the only subject, but it was one that I noticed appeared more often than not.
What would be another subject?
Work sometimes. Like my mom wanted to travel a lot. We didn't always have that opportunity.
Were the fights ever about you?
Yes.
And that, how would that start? Fight between you and your dad, or
No, it'd be between my mom and I.
your dad be involved?
Yes.
So you come home on the weekends. When was the last time you came home before she passed?
It was winter break. We had just celebrated Christmas and New Year's, and she drove me back to my dorm right after New Year's.
Do you remember where you went for Christmas?
Probably.
Or if you went anywhere?
I don't remember that year if we went everywhere, but I think we went to Eugene sometime in that. Yes, we did go to Eugene. This is definitely.
When you got back for winter break, what, probably the second week of December, something like that?
I went back. Are you saying like when I left school or when I went back?
When you
to
left school and came home?
Oh yes, it was right before Christmas.
Okay.
Probably a day or two before, probably.
And how were your mom and dad getting along at that time?
As far as I was concerned, they were getting along fine.
Was their relationship always good or always bad?
No, it was a good relationship. They had disagreements, but nothing stood out to me.
When you came back during that period, just before Christmas until the time you left, whatever that was, were they getting along okay during that time?
Yes.
Was it better than usual?
It was about the same as usual, I'd say.
And so, what day did you go back to school?
It was shortly after New Year's, probably the 2nd or 3rd of January, 2024.
And how did you get back to school?
My mom drove me.
How was that trip?
It was good. Partway through the drive, she experienced a severe headache. Asked me to pass her the ibuprofen bottle. We had to pull over multiple times. I almost had to take over driving.
Okay. Do you normally listen to music on the way up?
Yes,
Were you able to do that this time?
a little bit, but she had me turn it off after the headache started.
And about how far into the drive did she have to stop and pull over? Do you recall?
It was probably about halfway the first stop, and then we'd stop frequently after that just so she could get fresh air.
And then she took you to school, which you just dropped off, turn around, and come home?
No, she helped me back in my dorm, with my bags, my suitcase, and then after she had left, I walked her out. I gave her a hug. I walked back in. I realized something came over me that I needed to give her another hug. So I ran out back to her and I gave her another one.
Okay. So then you go back to school,
Yes.
and from that time until the day your mother passed, did you have any contact with her?
Yes, I did.
Like how?
She often proofread my assignments. I would, write them, send her pictures, and she'd let me know if anything needed changes, like grammatically, or, oh, this might sound better, try this.
Was that something she often did?
Yes.
Very involved in your school?
Yes.
You did pretty well in school, I take it?
Yes.
Just going back to her diet a little bit, you say she didn't eat healthy this time, like processed foods.
Yes.
Did she eat snacks and stuff like that?
Yes, she did.
Like what kind of stuff?
She would have chips, a lot of chips. I remember that.
Yeah, Diet Coke?
Yes. Pepsi.
Yes. And so, now, growing up with your mother, you'd see her first thing in the morning sometimes.
Yes.
You'd see her during the day, sometimes at night just before bed.
Yes.
How did she normally dress? Let's say like in that last year, how did she dress?
If she wasn't going anywhere that day, she would dress pretty comfortable, usually a pair of leggings and t-shirt or a hoodie.
If it was a little colder, did she kind of layer up,
Yes.
keep it in the house?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any recollection of her habit of wearing a bra?
Yes.
What do you call that?
She always wore a bra.
Do you know why she wore a bra?
It was just her personal preference. She never gave me a specific reason, but
Okay.
just her.
But did you feel like you had to wear a bra all the time because you didn't?
No.
And why did you feel like that?
Projection relevance.
Do I answer the question?
No, you don't.
No? Okay.
But, when you would see her first thing in the morning, like, were there times where you'd get first and you'd see her come
Projection
downstairs?
reading.
Sorry, finish the question, and I'll decide.
Were there
Don't
times-
answer until I hear the question.
Were there times when you would be up first and she'd get up after you?
Yes.
Okay. And so, where would you be typically when that happened?
I'd probably be downstairs eating breakfast or in my room getting ready for the day.
Would you be aware of whether or not she was wearing a bra at that time?
She always wore a bra.
How about late at night? It's bedtime. She's gonna go to bed. What about that?
Yes, she wore one.
Do you ever remember a time when she wasn't?
Projection asked and answered to the bra.
Do you ever remember a time when she wasn't wearing a bra?
No.
Now, that last week that you came back, or the last couple of weeks that you came back, let's go to the after Christmas time. You were just there for a few days, is that right?
Yes.
Were they getting along pretty well with your mother?
Yes.
How did your mother seem, other than the headaches, how did she seem like spiritually?
She seemed happy. We were just in family for Christmas. Everyone was in a good mood.
Now, we all have our style of dressing, especially when we're at home and we're in our own, where other people don't see us. Would you describe her as a careful dresser?
Can you elaborate?
Well, Was she always really careful to make sure everything was just right, everything was put on just the right way?
No, if she wasn't leaving the house, she didn't really pay attention to what
Why
she
do you
was.
say that? When you say she didn't pay attention, what do you mean?
Her clothes were often backwards or inside out. You know, ever since I was a kid, that was something I always remembered about her.
Is it kind of a family joke?
No, a little bit, but like as a kid, I'm like, oh, mommy's being silly. Her shirt's on backwards. Like, but if she were to go out, she would be more careful.
Did that continue all the time?
Yes.
Now, as far as I guess the chores around the house, who did most of the cooking in the house?
That's my dad.
Relevance.
I'll sustain the objection.
Who did most of the cleaning?
Objection relevance.
They brought this up.
I offer a little bit of objection.
Who did most of the cleaning?
My dad.
Did your dad do a lot of cleaning?
Yes.
Was he a pretty tidy guy?
Yes.
Objection asked and answered.
I'll go a little more like the answers to that.
So you go up to school, and you maintain contact with your mom, you said, right?
Yes.
And are you talking to her on the phone too?
Yes.
And how did she seem?
She seemed happy. Like the last time I talked with her on the phone, she was laughing, joking with Ted, making fun of me a little bit, but she was happy.
What day was that?
It was the night before she passed.
So this would have been on January 7th,
Yes.
so this would have been a Sunday night?
Yes.
I don't expect you to remember exactly when it was. Do you have an idea of ballpark what time of day it was?
It was nighttime. It was before I went to bed.
So you go to school. How did you find out about your mother cancer?
I was at the Starbucks at Cicero Library. I got a call from Dad asking where I was. I told him where I was. He told me to come to the dorm right away and that he and Ted were there. I walked back to my dorm. He walked me upstairs, sat me down, and told me that my mother had passed.
How was your dad emotionally when you saw him?
I could tell he was very shaken when I first saw him. When he told me that it was just him and Ted there, I instantly knew something had happened to Mom. I wasn't sure what, but his eyes were red. He was shaking, very distraught.
And I imagine you were not too happy either, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened after that?
We were in my dorm for a little bit. We were crying. After we had calmed down for a bit, he told me that they were taking me home and they would help me pack some bags to take me home.
Okay. And so this would have been a Monday morning, right?
I believe so.
Did you have school that day?
No, I did not. I didn't have classes Mondays or Fridays during that quarter semester.
So you went home, and who was with you on the ride back? Just you and your dad?
No, it was Dad, Ted, and I believe his name is Scott Slocum,
Okay.
who drove. Dad was in no shape to drive, so Scott drove us.
And on the drive back, how was your father emotionally?
He was very upset.
Was this one level of upset, or was it kind of up and down, or what was it?
He was constantly upset. I was, asking questions. He often needed time to collect himself before he could give me, an answer. Very, very upset. We were all upset.
And what was the seating arrangement?
Objection relevance.
What was the seating arrangement on the way back?
I can't remember.
Do you know if you're sitting next to your dad?
I don't remember.
So, did you have any idea what time you got home?
It was probably middle of the day.
Okay. Were there other people there?
Yes.
And so, were they, you know a lot of his firefighter friends, right?
Yes.
Were there a lot of firefighters?
I can't remember if there were any firefighters, but I know my grandma Lori and my grandpa Bill were there by the time we had arrived to my house.
Okay. So did you get a chance to see your mother before they took her?
No.
Now, I'm kind of jumping back just a little bit. Before you left for college, Are you aware of any kind of cleaning that took place in their bedroom, your mom and dad's bedroom?
Objection. Relevance.
Okay, I'll allow that question.
Like before I left for college, like after winter break or
At any time, any kind of,
anytime. I know they were getting carpets cleaned upstairs.
was that while you were still there?
I can't remember. I know they were prepping for it, and then after mom had passed, things still weren't set to where they were, so dad had to rearrange. Yeah, like the furniture upstairs.
All right. So you come home, there's some family shows up, firefighters are there. When the firefighters all kind of cleared out, what time was that?
I don't remember.
Who was left after they left?
I don't remember. I know dad, Ted, and I, but I don't remember anyone
Okay.
like specifically.
Do you remember your grandmother showing up that day?
Yes.
And then, do you remember anybody coming over in the evening? Just dropping by?
I know some of my friends from high school dropped by. I can't remember specifically by name, but I know some friends did show up.
And you said your father was crying, did he continue that all day or did that change?
It continued all day.
Were there times when he would pause and not be crying a little bit?
Yes.
Now, with regard to your mother's personal items, do you know what happened to those?
Yes, I do.
What's that?
Dad took Ted and I upstairs. He's like, you guys feel free to take whatever you want, whatever you need. And with your blessing, I'd like to donate whatever is left over. So Ted and I carefully went through everything, picked out some things that we wanted. There are a few, random items that neither of us had use for or wanted. So whatever was left over was donated.
Okay. And the things that were donated, I mean, you said they were just things you didn't want, right?
Yeah, like plain t-shirts or camis, not socks, but like maybe some shoes that, didn't fit any of us, so.
Did you have anything to do with moving furniture out of the house? Are you aware of anything happening to the bedroom furniture in your mom and dad's room?
Yes.
What would you know about that?
So after the carpet was cleaned, I remember most of the furniture was stuffed in their closet.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to help bring it out. And
What about now, the furniture, do you understand that the furniture is still there or do you believe the furniture is no longer there?
to my knowledge, like at this moment, it's no longer there
Okay. Do you know why?
because we moved out.
Okay. But you don't know what happened to furniture?
No.
Do you remember getting rid of the mattress in the master bedroom?
Yes, I vaguely remembered
Do
that.
you recall why?
I just know that the mattress was stained, probably with cat urine or vomit. And it was very dirty, and it was, just a burden to clean. It's easier just to get a new one.
And yeah, did you have a dog?
Yes,
What's the dog?
Sadie.
And where did Sadie sleep at night?
She either slept in the bed with my parents, or if it got too hot, she went to the bathroom tiles.
And did she sleep on your parents' bed all the time?
Yes.
But did you ever have to get up in the middle of the night with regard to Sadie?
Yes. If neither of my parents were waking up, she'd come to my room and sit right beside my bed and whimper till I woke up to let her out.
Okay. And so, I mean, you're young, got great hearing. You could hear pretty easily.
Yes.
Were there times, but you're saying that there would be times when she'd whimper in their room, they would wake up, or do you know?
I don't know. I just suspected that she tried to wake him up and it didn't work.
Did you play the family card game?
But
Was there a card game your family liked?
Yes.
What was it called?
Spite and Malice.
Was that a game your family played a lot?
Yes.
Did you ever see Ted give your mother a massage?
Yes.
Did you ever give your mother a massage?
Yes.
So how did that come about? I mean, would one of you just want to give her a massage, or how would it come about?
She'd be like, we would be settling in for the night, watching a movie. She'd be like, "Oh, Ted, like shoulders are sore," like prompting him, and he'd get up, massage her shoulders. She goes, "Oh, my feet are just aching," and so then I would go to her feet.
Okay, so 10 shoulders, Megan feet.
Yep.
Okay. And have you ever received a massage from Ted?
Yes.
And how is that?
Good.
How does he do?
He does a really good job.
Is it painful?
No.
Okay. Could it be painful?
Yes.
Okay. Would his massages sometimes be a little too much for you?
Yes.
And how would you communicate that to him, if at all?
I would like tell him to either stop completely, like lighten up, or I just get up, and walk away.
Okay. When your mother would get a massage by Ted, did she make complaints like that?
Yes.
Okay. Or what would she tell him with regard to how it
Objection,
felt?
hearsay.
What would she say with regard to how it felt, what he was doing? What would she say about it?
She would tell him to lighten up or to move to a different area.
Okay. And did were you aware of your mother having breast augmentation?
Not till after she passed.
So your whole life you didn't know about that?
Objection, relevance.
Let the answer stand.
You talked about your dad being pretty tidy. How about your mom? Was she tidy?
Not always, no.
Why do you say that?
She would get, in these we would call them cleaning fits, where she'd just be like, the house is too cluttered, we need to clean it. And then she'd do all the cleaning in one day. But on a day-to-day basis, she would be pretty messy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know who Cynthia Ward is?
Yes.
And who is she?
She's my dad's fiance.
Did you, when did you find out about her?
I found out about her after a gathering we had at the house.
Okay. Do you remember when the gathering was?
It was about a week or two after Mom passed.
Okay. Was it any special occasion that you can recall?
Partially, it was for my dad's birthday, but it wasn't, just for my dad's birthday. It was, all of the family was there. We were all mourning. We were just, supporting each other.
And is that where you met Cynthia?
Yes.
Who did you think she was when you first got there? How was she introduced?
My dad pulled me aside, pulled me into the garage about, I think it was either the same day or the day before everyone started showing up. It was like, hey, your Auntie Amy has a friend named Cynthia, and she's coming to the party. Is that okay?
Okay. So she was kind of like the one outsider to this family gathering,
Yes.
and were you okay with that?
Yes.
All right. So she comes to the party. You're introduced. Amy's your aunt's friend, right?
Yes.
And did you, throughout this gathering, did you change your impression whether she was just a friend of Amy's or not?
I had my suspicions as soon as Dad asked me. But throughout the party, I knew more and more that there was something, they weren't telling me.
Okay. And then at some point, did you talk to your dad about that?
He actually talked to me about it.
What was
it was when he was driving me back to school. I'd taken 2 weeks off, and I needed to go back when he drove me back.
Did you go back before or after that storm?
It was after the ice storm.
Like a lot or just a little bit?
It was just a little bit to my memory.
So maybe just a few days after the gathering, he told you who she was?
Yes.
Okay. Did he say it's something that had just started, or how did he explain it?
The way it was prompted was he asked me my opinions of her and if that was something he should pursue. And, I was like, look, Mom just passed. If this is something you want to do, that is completely up to you. You're an adult. And I just told my opinions on that.
Did he indicate whether it's something that had just started or had been going on? Do you have any idea?
Not at that moment, no.
Did he ever clarify that?
Yes.
What is your understanding now?
A few months later, we were at the trailer he was living at. I can't remember which RV park he was at this time, but he pulled me outside and he was like, I had this talk with Ted a little bit ago, but I wanted to have it with you. He's like, I haven't been completely honest, but Cynthia and I have been seeing each other for a few months now.
Okay. So that means even before your mother passed?
Yes.
So how is your relationship with Cynthia?
It's good.
Thank you.
Cross-examination,
I don't have any questions, Jenna.
can the witness speak to it?
That's crazy. The state didn't even ask no questions. The state, like, we don't even have no questions. She's sitting up here telling all these lies. Like, the stuff that she needed to say. Okay, Mom gets headaches. Mom like massages. My brother used to give her massages and me massages, and he was a wonderful massager. I used to massage her feet. She wore her bras all the time. She always had headaches. She wore her clothes backwards. She kept a nasty house. Yeah, I know about Cynthia. Cynthia's great. She's the replacement. Like, how does this work? I'm surprised that the state didn't have any questions either, Marilda. I don't know what is going on and what kind of mess that was. Man, oh man. I know her mama is like rolling over. Like, you talk about dying, talk about backstabbing after the fact. Like, it wasn't even 2 weeks. Man, bye.
Yes.
Look at her, poor guy.
Don't discuss your testimony with other potential witnesses.
Thank you.
Sure. Good morning. My name is Dr. Jennifer Nara, N-A-R-A.
Go ahead, Counsel.
Thank you. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Doctor, what do you do for a living?
I am a full-time forensic pathology consultant. However, I still do autopsies every month for Clark County Medical Examiner's Office.
So what is the relationship? Why are you doing them for Clark County, if you know?
Oh, this is about to be wild. So they're going to have another autopsy specialist come in to say that she did not probably pass away from being strangled. Because he's saying he didn't strangle her. How does the jury reconcile two experts that's supposed to be experts that are going to disagree? Man said, you'll see. Just hit play, sweet pea. Okay, because I'm like, how this about to work? This seems like this about to be a turn.
Sure, even though I do mostly consultation work, I still want to stay relevant, keep up to date, and still be practicing and performing autopsies, which is why my employer, ESI, contracts with Clark County.
Okay. And ESI, is that the same company that Dr. Burt works for?
Yes, it is.
And so, to become a doctor, I mean, obviously you had to do some things. You go through medical school.
Yes, I did.
Where'd you go to school?
So for undergrad, I went to the University of Washington, in Seattle, Washington. And then I went to medical school at Western University of Health Sciences in Pomona, California.
And so you graduated from medical school what year?
Oh gosh, 2002. And then I went on to do my pathology residency, which is another 4 years. And that was at the University of Hawaii in Honolulu. And then to be a forensic pathologist, you have to do yet another year of forensic pathology fellowship. So I did that at Miami-Dade Medical Examiner Department in Miami, Florida.
Now, and then at some point you ended up, did you come up here for ESI or did you work for somebody else before you went to work for ESI?
Prior to working at ESI, a private forensic consulting company, I worked as a medical examiner for Spokane County here in Spokane, Washington.
Now, how did you get involved in this case? Was it for you didn't do the autopsy in this case, correct?
That's correct, I did not.
What was your role?
So at Clark County Medical Examiner's Office, anytime there is a case that's ruled as a homicide by one of the medical examiners, we are required to have another doctor, another medical examiner or forensic pathologist review the case. So it's kind of like a quality assurance, like a check and balance.
Is that what you did in this case?
Yes, I was asked to do that.
Did you review the autopsy?
I reviewed the autopsy photos, the report, and any investigative reports.
And that was at the request of the state, correct?
Request of the county, yes.
The county, okay. And now, how long ago did you do that?
Okay, I believe the autopsy was performed back in 2024. I don't remember when the autopsy report was officially signed, but I would have been asked soon afterwards.
Okay. And have you reviewed the report recently?
Recently, yes.
And now you do both for the county. You also do private work sometimes?
Mostly private work, yes.
Okay, but you weren't hired by my firm, correct?
I was not.
And so is there a difference in the kind of review you do? Let's say you're asked to do a quality assurance of a colleague. Is there a difference between that review and as opposed to when you're hired by a defense attorney, for example?
So doing the quality assurance, like I mentioned, the check and balance of another medical examiner's report here at Clark County, it's different from my regular consultation work, whether I'm retained by a plaintiff or defense attorney. I am asked to scrutinize that case a lot more. I'll review all the findings of the pathologist who performed the original autopsy, just like I would for Clark County. But it's more in depth because that attorney that hired my employer wants me to look for, could there possibly be anything that I would disagree with, anything that would be important to bring up.
Okay. Now, in this case, you were not asked to do that, were you?
To do the same kind of scrutiny, no.
And so you reviewed the report. You didn't find anything upon that kind of review. You didn't really disagree with anything in the report, correct?
But Dr. Burt's report, no, I did not.
So I'm going to ask you about a couple specific things. What is the difference between a hematoma and a contusion, if there's a difference?
So when we think about contusion or a bruise, that's where you have some kind of pressure or trauma to your skin. So you get that discoloration under your skin because the blood inside your small blood vessels called capillaries, they break. So then the blood, those tiny vessels, they leak out into the surrounding soft tissues and you'll see a bruise through the surface of the skin. Hematoma, that's slightly different. That's usually requires a significant more amount of force. So it could be from like a direct blunt impact or more direct pressure where you have more leakage of that blood that actually forms like swelling. Kind of like if you get like a goose egg from bumping your head against a cabinet drawer. That's going to form a hematoma versus just a bruise, which is usually not raised.
So fair to say you typically need something more like an impact rather than just pressure.
For a hematoma, yes.
Okay. Now, you've had exams where you found hematomas in patients, have you not?
Yes, autopsies, yes.
Is it your practice to put the fact that you found a hematoma in the report?
It is my practice to describe it. If I'm able to give some kind of dimension, I do that.
Okay, and you'll describe it as a hematoma, is that correct?
Hematoma, sometimes I'll use the word ecchymosis, but I will describe it as being different just because it's more three-dimensional versus just the simple bruise that doesn't cause swelling.
Are you familiar with, well, do you ever look at blood glucose level when you're doing an autopsy?
If it's available in the medical records provided, yes, I will take a look at that.
Is it useful in some cases?
In some cases, yes.
Okay. Are you aware, not from the autopsy, did you see where the blood glucose level was mentioned in the autopsy?
I honestly do not recall the blood glucose level being specifically mentioned.
And I'll give you an example. Let's say it's a blood glucose level of 300. It's what the paramedics, the initial reading they would have taken just at the very beginning of life-saving efforts, 300.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a level like that in an autopsy?
From the paramedic report, yes.
And is it uncommon to have levels that high?
That's much higher than normal.
And would that be consistent with a grand mal seizure, for example?
When we see elevated glucose levels, your glucose level should be about like 100 in general, depending on how the lab calibrates the range. Level 300 is high, so if the patient's not a known diabetic, doesn't have diabetes, and we see a level that's that elevated, then we think, okay, well, are they a trauma victim? We frequently see high glucose levels in people who are involved in a car accident and come to the emergency department, or paramedics at the scene. They'll take a quick level and it's frequently elevated.
Okay. But now what is a seizure? Can you just explain what that is?
Seizure, I'm sure you've seen this on TV and movies, where it's like an involuntary movement, typically of the body parts. Some with grandma, it'd be the entire body. Sometimes it could just be portions of the body. Sometimes you could barely see movement, but it's caused by abnormal activity in the brain, most commonly due to lack of oxygen, because your brain is the one organ in your body that desperately needs a lot of oxygen. So it's abnormal activity in the brain.
Now, let's say it's a grand mal seizure with the arch position. You familiar with that?
It's grandma, yes.
A full body seizure. Could that spike your blood glucose level to that level?
A grand mal seizure with your whole body movement, yes, that can definitely raise your glucose levels because it's stressing your body.
Okay. 300 level, not unexpected?
It's not.
Could it be higher?
It could be higher.
Now, are you familiar with a hypoxic seizure?
Yes.
Okay, what is that?
I think I briefly touched on this just a few seconds ago. Hypoxia is lack of oxygen to the brain, and the brain is the one organ that needs the most amount of oxygen more than any other organ in the body. So if the brain doesn't have enough oxygen, it can have seizure activity. So we call those hypoxic seizures.
Okay. So if a person has a heart attack, the heart stops pumping. It's not going to get blood or oxygen to the brain anymore. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Would that result in a hypoxic seizure?
It can.
When you get patients, or do you call them patients, the people you work on?
I do.
Okay. When you get patients who have been through life-saving measures like EMS procedures, do they sometimes have injuries?
Sometimes, yes, they have injuries.
What kind of injuries do you see?
Oh, it depends on what kind of CPR is used, how long they've been doing the CPR, the age of the patient. Frequently, you'll see bruising. That's probably the most common thing I'll see. You'll see rib fractures on the chest. And depending on how long the CPR is going on, sometimes they'll have injury to the liver and the spleen as well, because it's in that same general area, as well as you can have bruising of the heart.
And now, you're familiar with the Lucas device?
I am.
Okay, and it's a pretty effective machine.
It appears to be. It's pretty loud.
Does it, from your training experience, does it provide sufficient blood flow to at least enable life-saving efforts?
I believe it does. The medical literature supports it, which is why it's used.
Is it known to cause any injuries, that device?
Lucas device, along with any other mechanical device and even manual CPR, yes, it does cause injuries.
What kind of injuries?
Could cause same type of injuries that I mentioned, such as bruising. It could cause petechial hemorrhages. It could cause rib fractures, probably more frequently, and also injury to the injuries of the chest and abdomen as well.
You said petechial hemorrhages?
Yes,
Is it the same thing as petechia?
yes.
Okay. And now are you familiar with the plunger on the Lucas?
Yes, I have seen it.
Okay, and what is your understanding of what is at the very end, the part that comes in contact with the body? What is that portion?
It's like a suction cup, sort of like pull your soft tissues up and down.
Okay, so push down and then actually pull up.
Yes,
Okay, and that's something that actually regular manual compressions can't do, is it?
the pulling up part, no.
And that, what benefit, I mean, why would there be a suction cup? What benefit is it to have the chest pulled up instead of just pushed down?
That's when you're pulling up, that's going to allow for more blood flow, which is what you want.
Okay. And what is perfusion?
Perfusion is just know it's a medical term or fancy term for having enough blood flow to allow oxygen to go to your organs.
And so with the Lucas device, would that enable perfusion or at least make it the possibility of perfusion a little better?
That's the purpose of it, yes.
Now, you're familiar in your work with risk factors, like what might place a person at health risks, correct?
Yes,
And sometimes people can just have a sudden first-time heart attack that we don't see coming and pass away, is that correct?
unfortunately, yes, we see that.
And in this case, do you recall, the age, the height, and the weight of Marcy in this case? Marcy was.
Ms. West, I knew she, at the time of autopsy, she was 48 years old. I unfortunately don't remember the exact height and weight.
It's 5'10", 180 pounds, sound about it.
She was fairly
188 pounds, I'm sorry.
Tall and on the slightly heavier side.
So those dimensions, if a person has fatty liver disease, is that a risk factor
Risk factor
for like some kind of health problem?
fatty liver, yes, that can increase your risk for sudden cardiac arrest.
And how about high cholesterol?
High cholesterol is very well known to also increase your cardiac disease risk.
What about having a resting heart rate of 95?
95 is higher than normal. I'm hoping mine's not that high. That also would increase your risk.
Okay. That's also known as borderline tachycardia, isn't it?
Yes,
And what is tachycardia?
when your heart rate is beating faster than it normally should.
If the person we're talking about has frequent chronic migraines, nausea, throwing up, if you put those together, does that inform you at all about whether or not there's some kind of red flag for health concerns or health risks?
They have chronic migraines, nausea, and vomiting. I mean, those are not normal symptoms to have chronically. So yes, there's probably something going on.
So they're not causes, they're just symptoms. exams, is that right?
Correct.
Now, the practice of doing an autopsy is not a perfect, exact science, is it?
I don't think any practice is a perfect science, unfortunately.
And two different medical examiners could look at the same body, the same information, and reach completely different conclusions.
That can happen, yes.
Are you familiar with injuries? Do you ever run across bodies with injuries to the esophagus or to parts of the throat?
Yes.
And how about injuries to the esophagus specifically? You've seen that before?
Many times.
And in your practice, if somebody has had life-saving measures, let's say not intubation, but they've had like an eye gel, do you ever see associated trauma or any kind of injury to the esophagus with that?
I have.
And now the parts of the throat, can you kind of describe what we're looking at on the front of the throat?
Sure. So what you can feel, obviously more prominent in gentlemen versus ladies, your cartilage here, upper here would be your thyroid cartilage, your thyroid glands over that. Right below that, your cricoid cartilage, and then you can feel your windpipe. It's kind of got like a corrugated texture. And then behind that is your esophagus.
Now, injuries to this region, does it take a lot of force to cause injury to that region?
A lot of force? No, not necessarily.
Is it pretty delicate?
Your neck in general is a pretty delicate area.
And when you look at, there's a little bone in our throat. What does that called?
Higher up in your throat, there's a bone called the hyoid bone. It's kind of wishbone shaped.
Okay. Oh, so that's the human wishbone.
Yes.
Okay. If there's an airway asphyxiation, is it common to see damage to that bone?
Sometimes you will see damage to the hyoid bone. Sometimes you will not.
Either damage or you see dislocation?
Depending on the age of the patient, usually you'll either see hemorrhage or some kind of fracture, dislocation.
Okay. So in a situation of let's say if we occlude both jugulars, we occlude both carotid arteries, and we do that long enough, how long would it take to cause unconsciousness?
If you push on both sides of your carotid really hard, and I don't recommend doing that right now, within several seconds you'll pass out.
And how long would it take to cause death?
You'd have to apply continuous pressure for a few minutes,
5 minutes, 10 minutes perhaps?
depending on the person.
If that were to occur, well, what is the vertebral arteries? What are they?
So they're the arteries, they connect to your carotid arteries on both sides of your neck, and they're the blood vessels that feed your brain. So they go straight up on both sides.
And they're protected by bone, correct?
Bone, lots of soft tissue, yes.
So easier to occlude the carotid and the jugular than it is the vertebral artery.
Yes.
So if you're occluding the jugular and the carotid artery, you still have blood pumping up. Typically, you still have blood pumping up through the vertebral arteries, don't you?
Depending on the pressure applied, you can still have some blood flow through those vertebrals,
And that would cause pressure to continue building.
depending on how long they're being compressed.
Well, long enough to kill the person.
Right.
Would you expect fatigue?
Sometimes you will see petechia, sometimes you don't.
Now, if there's a heart attack, let's see, a cardiac arrest, I'll give you two situations. Let's say the heart stops because there's no oxygen to the brain. Situation one. Situation two, the heart stops for like some kind of natural heart attack, first time heart attack, whatever. It just stopped you, cardiac arrest. For no external cause, just internally. When you compare those two hearts, are they gonna look different? You're gonna go tell the difference one from the other.
In general, you won't see a difference in the heart. I mean, not unless there's some trauma or some underlying major heart abnormality. Like if you have a blood clot, that travels to the heart.
If you suspect a seizure disorder, is that something that you can always determine by just looking at the brain, for example?
Unfortunately, no.
And in order to kind of rule out to the best that you can, to the best of your ability, what would you have to do with that as a pathologist? What would you do?
Depending on the case, especially if someone has a history of seizure disorder, I may send that brain out to a neuropathologist for them to do an examination. They'll examine the inside and outside of the brain, and they'll also take microscopic sections and look under the microscope for anything that's abnormal that they could possibly see.
But the only way to really rule it out would be to do that procedure.
Yes.
Now, in order to confirm that petechia is petechia, you need to cut the petechia out to make a conclusive determination.
I think if the pathologist has enough experience, like I know I'm pretty confident if I see petechial hemorrhages on a patient, I know that's petechia and I won't be cutting everyone's petechia out.
But if you're not sure, the only way to be sure would be to cut it out, correct?
If I'm not sure, yes, I'll cut into it or I'll cut it out.
How long does it take to cut it out and examine it, confirm it or not confirm it?
If you include the laboratory processing time, because you gotta
Well,
send it out to the lab.
How much of your time does it take?
But once I cut it out and it goes to the lab and they process it, puts it on glass slides, and then I look under the microscope, I'll know within seconds.
Okay. And as far as sending the brain out to a neuropathologist, how much of your time would that take?
We send out, it goes out of state, and unfortunately it takes several months to get those results back.
But you don't have to take it out of state, you send it, correct?
We send it, correct.
How much of your time does it take? You got the brain, it's in your hands. How much of your time does it take to package it up, send it off, and then review the results when it comes back? Just that part.
That part, it won't take me that long. It's just the waiting, for just the time.
Okay, but your actual work, the amount of time it takes you out of your day, is it more than 15, 20 minutes?
No.
Is it, as far as the timing of an autopsy goes, ideally, how soon should you do an autopsy after a person's died?
You know, perfect world, it would be right after they're deceased, but that pretty much never happens.
But what is I know we're not waiting months and months and months. What is the danger of waiting more time? If you do it later than sooner, what's the danger?
I think it depends on the case. Like if it's a toxicology related case, some medications may break down the body and the levels may be different if you wait like 2 weeks to do the autopsy and draw the blood versus doing it within a couple days. Someone who's been shot multiple times, if we don't get to the body for, I don't know, several days, the gunshot wounds, entrance versus exit, sometimes it may be a little bit more challenging to decipher which one it is. So it really depends on the case.
Is decomposition of the tissue a concern at all?
That's always a concern.
You're familiar with the term blanching, correct?
Yes.
What is blanching?
So blanching, I'll give you an example with livor mortis. When your blood settles in after you pass away, it kind of has this purplish discoloration. If you press on someone whose lividity is not fixed, they haven't been dead for a long time, you'll see the imprint of your finger. I mean, I could even do it to the top of my hand. I'll see blanching when I'm pressing down on my hand, and I'll see it's kind of lighter from where my finger was pressing down.
Now, a person who has a blemish on their face, let's say, will it blanch when you press on it typically?
Blemish, like a big freckle? No.
Does petechia blanch?
Petechia are really tiny pinpoint hemorrhages, so if you press on it, I don't see that it's going to change.
So there's no blanching to be expected there.
Correct.
And I mentioned the different risk factors that we talked about, how about if someone leads a sedentary life? Is that also a risk factor for a 48-year-old person who's somewhat out of shape?
Sedentary life, yes, that's a risk factor.
I've heard sitting is the new smoking. Is that true?
I don't know about that, but
Now, in the case of a struggle, are you familiar with what would be considered defensive wounds?
yes.
And what are those?
Defensive wounds, we typically see that in individuals who are being attacked. They're going to naturally protect themselves. You'll put your hands and forearms up, and you can get, if someone's coming after you with a knife, you'll get stab mark, cut marks on your hands and on your forearms. If you're being beaten, you're trying to ward off an attacker, you can get bruising also on your hands and forearms.
There could also be scratches, correct?
Correct.
And now, you don't have a way to determine how old a bruise is by looking at it, is that correct?
Oh, there's literature out there. I'm trying to date bruising, and there's conflicting information because in general, we can say if you see like purple blue discoloration, that's a fresher bruise than one that's turned more yellow and brown. But some bruises will turn like a brownish discoloration almost right away. It really depends on the individual.
And a bruise can continue to form with just the Lucas device only, is that right?
The Lucas device, if it as is pressing down the chest, that could break blood vessels. You could have blood leaking out to the soft tissues, yes.
Well, if there's an injury and the heart stops immediately, there's no blood flow, would that stop the formation of a visible bruise?
If you have post-mortem some injury to a blood vessel, you're still going to have whatever blood that's contained in there leak out, and sometimes you can see that under the through the surface of the skin.
Is the Lucas device or compressions going to make it more likely that blood flow could assist with the bruise formation process?
I don't know if I could say more likely or less likely. The purpose of the Lucas device, one of the purposes is that it does move the blood around in their blood vessels.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Cross-examination.
Morning, Dr. Nara.
Morning.
You also perform autopsies on a contract basis for Clark County, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And defense indicated you peer reviewed Dr. Burt's work in this case, did you not?
Yes.
And that included her case file, photographs, reports, something like that.
Yes.
Can you describe the process by which you peer review an autopsy?
Sure. Whenever that request comes in, I review the autopsy reports against the all photos, autopsy photos. If there's photos from the scene, if law enforcement something, they'll take separate photos as well. The Clark County medical examiner investigators, they'll produce a report. So I'll take a look at that. And if there's any other like notes in the system that I need to be aware of, I'll review that as well. If there's videos, I'll take a look at that. So that's the same thing for when I do a case that I classify as a homicide. I know another doctor's going to review all that material as well.
That's standard practice in Clark County to have homicide autopsies peer reviewed?
Yes.
And is that done prior to the autopsy being officially disseminated?
Yes, that is required.
And what happens if you disagree with the findings of the original autopsy?
It hasn't happened at Clark County with me. I know at other jurisdictions, if there is a disagreement between the two doctors, I believe the director of operations of the office will bring in a third doctor.
And so in reviewing Dr. Burt's autopsy in this particular case, did you concur with her finding of hemorrhaging to both carotid sheaths?
Yes.
Did you concur with her finding of hemorrhaging to the esophagus?
Yes.
And if the hemorrhaging to the esophagus were caused by the use of the eye gel, what would you expect to see as far as that injury?
From the eye gel, I have seen injuries from eye gels, and they have like a softer tip than the regular ET tubes. you'll have some hemorrhage in the surface, the inner lining of the mucosa. It'll be pretty focal.
So you would expect it on the inside of the esophagus, not the outside of the esophagus, correct?
Correct.
And do you have any reason to believe in this case that the eye gel caused the hemorrhage to Marcy's esophagus?
If the injury was not to the inside, no.
And you reviewed the cause and manner of death that Dr. Burt indicated?
Yes, I did.
And what was her cause and manner of death?
Gosh, I don't know the exact wording. I would have to look at the reports.
Was it asphyxia due to blunt neck trauma?
Asphyxia, yes.
And why did you concur? Well, did you concur with the cause and manner of death that she reported?
As I stated earlier, yes, I did.
And why?
That's based on my review of all the photographs, the investigative reports, the videos, and any information about the circumstances of the case.
So it's your expert opinion that this was asphyxia due to blunt neck trauma?
Yes.
Now, is a hematoma a type of contusion?
Hematoma type of contusion. Yes, it's a contusion with swelling and there's more blood out into the soft tissues.
And would the photograph of the injury be the best indication of the dimensions of the injury?
It usually is.
As far as the hyoid bone is concerned, defense counsel asked you about damage to a hyoid bone in an airway strangulation. Is that an expected injury in a vascular strangulation?
No.
Why not?
From my experience and from the common forensic pathology textbook, we don't often see that because there's no direct injury to your wishbone, to your hyoid bone. That's like more central.
If a patient had no history of seizures, would you necessarily send the brain out to another provider?
I think I also mentioned that earlier. If they don't have a history, or if they do have a history, then I probably would send it out. If they don't have a known history and I don't see anything abnormal, I probably wouldn't.
Why not?
It would depend on the circumstances of the case. If there are other reasons, if I have other evidence in the case to point to the seizure not being the number one cause, then that's not something I would send out.
And are you able to examine the brain as a forensic pathologist?
Yes.
And you could see at least grossly visible injuries or things that could have caused a seizure to the brain?
Like traumatic injuries or masses such as like cancers, yes, those are things that we could see. Sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, we can't always see a seizure focus if there is something that causes seizures.
And defense asked you about hypoxic seizures. Can strangulation also result in a hypoxic seizure?
Strangulation, which will limit or eliminate oxygen to the brain, that could cause seizures.
Do you see any issue with doing an autopsy within 3 or 4 days of the death?
No, that's frequently what happens at Clark County.
Do you routinely do autopsies in that period of time?
Yes.
Is there anything in her case or the case file from Marcy West that indicates to you that any of her injuries were caused by resuscitation efforts beyond the mark from the Lucas device on her chest?
The injuries that were documented by Dr. Burt in the neck, no.
Is there anything in the case file from Marcy West that indicates to you that she died from a seizure?
No.
Is there anything in the case file from Marcy West that would lead you to believe that Marcy died from natural causes?
From the entire case file, no.
And no further questions.
Read the record.
Thank you. And doctor, you said you agreed with the finding that there was injury to the carotid, correct?
Yes, the neck.
Okay, but the only way to confirm it would be to cut into the carotid sheath, correct?
To confirm it, you can confirm it that way. I believe you asked me that. But otherwise, when you can see hemorrhage with the naked eye.
Okay. But to confirm, you need to really cut it and look at it and so forth, correct?
And take a good look at it, yes.
Okay, and is there a problem with cutting into the carotid sheath?
We always try to be careful not to cut into the carotid arteries themselves just because they're used for embalming. So we always think ahead for, the patient's families. But if we see obvious hemorrhage around there, the doctor doesn't necessarily have to actually dissect it out, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, it does. And so you can just kind of assume it is because of the hemorrhaging, correct?
Yes.
But you're not going to take the extra step because you're thinking about the appearance of the person's face and what the family might see.
That is something, if we don't think it's critical to the cause of death.
Now, you said if there weren't a history of seizure disorder, you wouldn't necessarily send the brain out, correct?
If there were not, correct.
But if the claim that somebody was there, somebody who is a medical professional said it was,
I'm sorry.
if the evidence was that a competent medical professional were there and said it was a seizure, in that situation, would you send the brain out to rule out the seizure as a cause?
It's a good question. If there was some documentation in medical records of a patient, then I'm pretty sure that doctor may want to know if their patient died of seizure, so I may send it out. But it's really case by case.
Sure. But now in the case where a person doesn't have a lot of medical history, they haven't been for a regular checkup in about 7 years, you don't really have that information, or at least 7 years, you don't have that information, then you wouldn't be able to know from the medical records whether or not there's a seizure disorder, correct?
Correct. Unfortunately, that happens with a lot of patients.
Okay, so what happens with a lot of patients?
Where not everything's documented, and unfortunately, it's not something routine for us to send the brain out on every patient. So it's only if they have some kind of history and, or if they have some kind of obvious abnormality, and I want to have a neuropathologist take a good look at it, I'll send it out.
So the history is only going to be based upon the medical records and the times that they've actually gone to see a doctor. A doctor's made an
I
examination.
object this to leading questions.
All over the world. And the doctor's reflected that examination records. That's the history we're talking about, right?
Yes, something documented.
And a person could develop a seizure disorder later in life and it be undocumented.
Unfortunately, yes.
Is it always something that's obvious, or is it something that can start small?
It's not always obvious.
And then seizures can be momentary. Is it true that seizures can be momentary and unnoticeable to the person experiencing one?
Yes, we call them absence seizures.
In this case, you didn't really actively and affirmatively look for other causes, correct?
Object this to leading questions.
Did you, that's a great question. Good, sustained or shut, I'm just saying. Did you actually look for alternative causes as an alternative to what Dr. Berg found?
When I reviewed the photographs, I was trying to think, is there something else that's really obvious that should have been considered? Those are things that will routinely go through our head when we do a check and balance or QA.
Did you look for things that weren't obvious?
That weren't obvious, such as, I'm sorry.
The doctor, did you make a concerted long-term effort to find causes that were not obvious, as you would if you were working for the defense, for example?
I pretty much just reviewed all the photographs and information regarding the circumstances of this case in my review.
Just kind of sign off on what Dr. Berg had already done, correct?
But reviewing them against all the photos, documented evidence.
Now, I don't know much about your history. Did you ever work in a hospital?
During my training, yes.
Okay. So, as a medical student?
Medical student, resident, it was a while ago.
Okay. When was the last time you treated a live patient?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be dating myself probably back in 2004.
Okay, so 21 years ago? 22 years ago? Okay. Is it helpful to have a patient's history when you're working with a live patient?
Live patients, clinical doctors, yes, they need the history.
And that's important when you're treating a person because you want to know how to treat them, is that right?
Get the background information of the patient, yes.
And that's something, other than medical records, if you have them, you don't have that with a person who's dead unless you talk to the family or something like that.
Family members, sometimes we will have medical records available to us at the time of autopsy. Most of the time we'll get them afterwards.
Did you talk to any family, or do you know if Dr. Burke talked to any families in this case?
That I do not know.
Now, you mentioned, you said earlier that it's not an exact science, right? Would you agree that autopsy work is more a matter of interpretation?
Objection to leading.
Are you working with a person who's died? Are you working with all the information that you would need if you're working with a live patient?
Objection to relevance.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Recall,
No.
can the witness please excuse?
Subject to recall.
Ted William West, WEST.
Go ahead, counsel.
Wait a minute, they're gonna have the sun up here too? Oh goodness. So let me ask you guys, after we heard the information from that ME examiner, does that provide y'all with any reasonable doubt, or are we just all steady fast that he did this? There is no reasonable doubt. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. We got to hear this one. Leah said no. So that's Teddy. Okay, so this is Ted up on the stand. Okay, well, let's see what Ted got to say. Because I'm like, what? We already heard from the daughter, so yeah, there's that. Okay, let's see what Ted got to say.
Good morning, Ted. Where did you grow up?
Washington, Washington.
So lifelong resident?
Yes.
And you go to school out there too?
Oh, yeah.
And so as far as where you live, where was the last house you lived in Washington?
Do you want address?
Just a street, a rough area, something.
Weiss Street. I can't remember, sorry.
Was it the
34th Street.
okay. And what do you currently do for a living?
I work at Wilco.
Now, I'm just going to take you back in time a little bit. Did you spend a fair amount of time with your mother when you were home?
Very much so.
You're close to your mother?
Very much.
Close to your father?
Yes.
Would you say you're closer to your mother than your father?
We had different relationships, but I was closer to my mother.
And now, in the last few years that you lived there, not just maybe 2 or 3 years, how would you describe their relationship, your mother and your father?
Troubled, off and on, good, bad.
Okay. So, kind of ups and downs?
Ups and downs, yes.
Any fights?
Yes.
Like physical fights?
Never physical.
But arguments?
Yes.
And were there ever any fights about finances?
Maybe on occasion.
And I mean, how significant, was that a big deal? Was that a big
It was-
subject?
No,
Did they try to hide their fights from you guys?
they did their best, yes.
Now, it wasn't just you in the house, it was you, your mom, your dad, who else?
My sister as well.
Okay, how old is your sister compared to you?
She's 2 years younger.
And so, besides finances, what other kind of things would they fight about?
My sister.
Okay. And was that, your sister doing bad things or what? Why were they fighting about your sister?
Disagreements about parenting.
And now your dad, was he kind of a fitness guy for you growing up?
I'd say
Objection
so.
relevance.
I like the answer, Stan.
And I'm sorry, what was the answer?
Yes, he was.
How about your mother?
Growing up, yes.
Okay, how about in the later years?
Later years, not as much.
Were you aware of her exercise habits?
Yes, I was aware.
What kind of exercise did you get, if any?
A lot of walking.
Anything else?
No, not that I know of.
How about her eating habits? Were you able to observe those?
Yes.
And what kind of food did she eat?
I'd say sugary foods, keto, on and off.
And then when you say sugar food, you mean like cookies, that kind of thing?
Snacky foods. I couldn't tell you for sure.
Was that, when you describe her primary diet, would that be it, or what was her primary?
I mean, she was eating steak and other meat foods dinner-wise, and then throughout the day it was snacky foods with,
And your chips?
yes,
And what would she drink typically, if you know?
Diet Pepsi.
You said that pretty quickly. Was it always Diet Pepsi?
Sometimes Diet Coca-Cola, or yeah.
Was it always diet?
She tried, yes,
Sometimes not diet?
occasionally.
In a given day, would you be aware of how many cans you would have, or what did you notice in a given day?
I know she had a lot, but I couldn't give you a number.
Did she frequently have a can of diet soda in her hand?
Frequently.
Now, how would your mother generally dress around the house?
Black leggings, pink tank top.
How about at night, like bedtime, if you know?
About the same.
Now, I'm going to move you up a little bit to around the January 2024 timeframe, okay? And prior to that, let's just go back to, let's say, Christmas time. Do you remember Christmas of that year?
Yes,
Okay, that would have been, I think,
vaguely.
okay, your last Christmas, correct?
Yes.
And I understand that well. So were there other people there?
Yes, there was.
Where did you go for Christmas, if anywhere?
I can't remember for sure, but I know it was.
If you don't remember,
I don't remember.
And now you say you work at Wilco now. Were you working at Wilco then?
Not then.
What were you doing then?
I was working as a firefighter in battlegrounds.
So you graduated from high school what year?
21.
And so this would have been about a year and a half later, something like that?
Correct.
2.5 years later, something like that?
Roughly.
Okay. And so you were a firefighter, or were you preparing?
I was preparing, going towards intern.
Okay. And so right around January, what, with regard to firefighting, what were you doing? January of 2024.
Still training as an EMT, and doing fire classes at PCC.
Now, do you recall the day that your mother passed?
Yes,
And where were you when you found out?
I was in Battlegrounds, and I found out that morning.
And so where were you in Battleground?
I was at the Station 31 in Battlegrounds when I was told.
So using that as kind of a reference point, let's go to the day prior. Okay, this would have been January 7th. What do you recall? Let's just kind of walk you through the day a little bit. What do you recall about the morning of January 7th?
I remember hanging with my mom, making pancakes that morning, maybe watching some TV, playing cards, and massaging her back.
What do you remember about cards? What game did you play?
It's a game called Spite and Malice.
Is that a game you can pick up in the store, or is that just a family game?
It's a family game with bicycle cards.
So when did you make the pancakes?
I couldn't give you time.
And was everybody around for the pancakes?
I believe it was just me and her.
Okay. Was your dad around that morning?
I can't remember. I think he was out doing something,
Okay. Out running errands or something like that?
possibly.
Okay. So you got up, you made pancakes, and you played cards with your mom. How'd you do playing Spike and Malice that day?
I'll say I had bragging rights afterwards.
Okay. You're a big winner that day.
Yes.
And so, did you have to go to work that night?
I left at 12 that day for the volunteer station.
And so what was going to be your schedule then? So you went there, were you going to stay overnight or just work for the day?
I was going to stay the night and then go to my second day of my internship the next day.
Okay, so you're starting the internship. So staying overnight, is that part of the internship?
Yes, it is.
So you left about noon. And did you continue to talk to your mom after that, either on the phone or by text?
By text.
And what was the nature of your conversation?
Preparation for lunch the next day. We talked about how we had a good day, and I believe we talked about what we were going to do the following day.
And do you know how long you spoke with your mother or texted with her that day?
That evening, I'd say about an hour.
Okay, what was the last message you sent, if you can recall? Or what time was that? Let's start it.
Let's say about 4 o'clock, roughly mid-afternoon.
And did you have an understanding of what was going on with her at the time?
Headache wise?
Well, no, as far as, not physical thing, but as far as what was she engaged in, what kind of activities was she doing at that time? If you don't remember, that's okay.
I don't remember.
And so you went to work and communicated with your mother till about 4, you said, right?
Somewhere in there.
Now, going back earlier in the day, you mentioned headache just a minute ago. What do you recall about her physical condition? Did she complain of anything that day?
I remember her having a big headache that day.
You got up about what time that day?
Usually I wake up about 7 or 8. I believe that was when I woke up.
And she complained of headache. When did she start complaining of the headache?
I'd say previous day, kind of leading into the 7th.
Okay. And she still had the headache on the 8th? On the 7th, I'm sorry?
On the 7th, yes.
Okay. Had you seen her with headaches before?
Oh, multiple times.
Okay. What, like in the few months before she passed, how often did she get these headaches?
I'd say about 4 times a year. I'm kind of eyeballing it.
Okay. And were they always pretty significant headaches that she complained about?
Yes.
And so this last one you say started on the 6th and lasted the 7th. Did she complain about how bad a headache was?
Yes.
What was your understanding from
Objection.
as she was?
Hearsay.
Oh,
As she was describing how she's feeling, how did she describe this bad headache?
Objection, hearsay.
I remember her head, holding her head a lot, and just saying that her head was hurting. But that's all I remember.
Did she do anything because she had a headache?
Usually she'd take like a pain med, like ibuprofen.
Did you see her do that a lot?
Yes, I did.
Not just 4 times a year, but frequently?
Frequently.
Did she always complain about the headaches that she had, as far as you know?
Yes, she was open about it.
Okay. Now, and the headache, she had it on the 6th into the 7th. Did she still have it when you left?
When I left, yes.
So now, you go to work and stayed overnight there, you said, right? How did you find out about your mental health?
I wake up the next morning, I go to work, I'm talking with the guys, I see a guy passing back and forth pacing. He grabs me, he brings me back to the back room, and I see one of my dad's friends there, and he tells me that my mom had passed.
Which of your dad's friends was that?
Chris Castle.
And so, so what did you do after that?
I talked with him for a little bit, and then he drove me back to my house, where then I met with my dad.
How was your dad when you got there?
Just in tears.
So you weren't feeling too good either?
No.
What time did you get to the house that day?
I'm going to say about 7,
So 7 a.m.?
roughly. Yes.
And was your mother still?
Yes, she was.
Did you get a chance to say goodbye to her?
Yeah. I went upstairs with my dad.
What did you do?
I got on my knees and gave her a hug, and then said my goodbyes. Said that I loved her.
So you said your goodbyes. Were there other people at the house at the time?
Yes, there was.
Like how many? Don't give me a number, but little or a lot.
There was a lot, roughly 10 firefighters. At least it felt like that.
Did you know all of these guys?
I knew them all.
Okay. So you said goodbye to your mother with your father, right? Is that right?
Yes.
And you came back downstairs? What did you do?
Came back downstairs.
And what happened?
We sat on the chair. I believe we talked with his firefighter friends. They comforted us, that kind of thing.
And did you don't tell me what he said, but did your father tell you what he experienced the night before with your mother? And you don't tell me what he said. Did he tell you that?
Yes.
Now, did you ever do anything for your mother to make her feel good? Would she ever request you to do something to make her feel good?
Yes.
What was that?
A lot of the time it was Diet Pepsi and a massage.
Okay. Well, we talked about the Diet Pepsi. We know about that. Tell me about the massage.
A lot of the time she'd ask who would want to be number 1. And I'd do the Diet Pepsi and massage. I'd go over and I would just do shoulders, a little bit of back and neck.
When did you start giving massage to other people like that?
I couldn't give a specific age, but I'd say right around 10.
And so you've been doing it for years, it sounds like.
Yes.
And was it just your mother?
Everybody in the family.
Any relatives too, besides family?
Cousins, grandparents. Yes.
So everybody kind of lined up for the TED massage?
Yes.
And you didn't have any training in this?
No training, all self-taught.
Self-taught. And so describe the massage you gave your mother. And let's talk about specifically the one that you gave her on the 7th. And let me back up a little bit. What time did you give her that massage?
I believe it was closer to 12, maybe 11:30.
Okay. And so kind of walk me through it. How would you start it? What parts would you touch? How did you touch them? Give us a general description of what you did.
Sounds good. Usually I would be starting at the shoulders. Sometimes I do side shoulder, sometimes back with the knuckles. And then I'd use elbow on the, valley between the neck and the shoulder. And then I'd go kind of high center neck too.
So valley between the neck and shoulder, what is that? Can you point it out on your own?
Totally. It was kind of at maybe the crest, or not the crest, but just the middle between where the shoulder and neck meets.
Can you show us on your left side so your instance?
Not a problem. Kind of right here.
Okay. And you would just with thumbs, how would you press on it?
Kind of like this, kind of a monkey grip. And then I'd use a lot of thumb strength. And then with the elbow, kind of like this, kind of right here, here, and on the back of the neck.
When you did this, how would your mother respond?
Depending on how hard I was pressing, she would let me know if I was pressing too hard.
Were there times you pressed too hard?
Yes.
Now let's talk about the 7th. That's Sunday. Were there times you pressed too hard that day?
Yes.
And when you touch the sides, and I'm not quite getting it exactly, but kind of where the neck meets the shoulder, somewhere in that area, how far forward did you go?
I would never go past the carotid.
Okay. You know where the carotid is.
I sure do.
Would you sometimes touch the carotid?
I'd touch it. Yeah.
Okay. And then when you're working on the side of the neck, you say you use your elbow just a little bit, or would you press hard? How do you do that?
I kind of judge it on her pain tolerance level. But over time, I kind of got used to the pressure.
Okay. And so you've given massages to lots of people for lots of years, it sounds like. How was your mother's pain tolerance for that kind of massage?
It was definitely not as high as my father's.
Okay. But was it higher than your sisters or your relatives?
Definitely higher than my sisters and relatives, yeah.
Okay. And is this something she liked you to do?
Yes.
And you say you did on the back of the neck as well. How high up would you go on that?
I'd say beneath the skull, but I don't know my anatomy very well, but it was higher. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay. And how would you touch that area?
I would never use elbow, but I'm trying to remember. Sorry. I think it was mostly thumb.
Did you ever use your knuckles in that area?
Yes.
And did she have the same high pain tolerance for that area?
I'd say pain tolerance was lower up closer to the neck than shoulders.
Okay. More of a sensitive area?
Totally.
Okay. Now, when your mother passed and you came home, did you go right back to the fire station after that?
No.
What did you do?
I believe I took 2 weeks off.
Did you stay home the whole time?
Yes.
Let's talk about the first day. You got home about 7:30 in the morning, you say, right? And then your dad was there, you talked to your dad. What's the first thing you did after seeing your mother? You came back downstairs. Did you guys go anywhere?
Not that day. I believe it was just me, my dad, and my sister. And I think we sat on the couch, watched TV.
Was your sister home when you got home?
She was not.
Where was she?
She was in Seattle in college.
Do you have any idea how she got from there to your house?
Yes, it was me, my dad, his old friend Scott, and we drove up in his truck to Seattle to pick her up.
Approximately what time did you leave to go get Megan?
I can't remember.
Do you remember where she lived?
In Seattle?
Yeah.
It was in one of the Washington Husky apartment deals.
One of those dorms named after a tree.
I believe so.
And so you go up there with your dad, and I'm sorry, who was the firefighter who drove you?
Scott Slocum.
Scott Sullivan. And how was your dad behaving when you were there?
Oh, in tears. We were all talking and crying at the same time.
Where was your dad sitting?
I believe front passenger.
So you go up there to get Megan,
Yes.
and you got Megan, your dad broke the news to her up there.
Yes.
How did that go?
Not good. I remember Megan screaming out of just pure sadness.
And so coming back, what was the scene?
Scott was driving, Dad was front passenger, I was behind the driver, and I believe Megan was to my right.
Did your dad ever say anything to you about how he felt about your mom?
Objection here, sir.
Sorry. The question was,
Did your,
don't answer until I have a.
did your father ever say anything about how it made him feel about your mother passing while you were there? This is probably with another witness.
Are you objecting to the question?
I'm objecting to the hearsay for this question, Your Honor.
I'm asking whether or not he said it. I'm not asking what he said.
I'm objecting to the leading man.
I'll overrule as to whether or not he said anything, to say what he said.
Yeah. Do you recall your father saying anything about how he felt about your mother passing while you were in the car?
According to, I'm sorry, can you clarify? Sorry.
I think it's a confusing question. I'm just going to strike the question. Okay? You're doing great. That's
Apologies.
No. Okay, so you come back down. What time do you get back from Seattle, if you recall?
I can't recall. Late.
Before noon?
No, I think it was later, mid-afternoon, I think.
And when you got back, who was there? If you're
I don't think anybody. I think it was just the four of us, and then Scott left later on.
Did anybody else come over that day?
My memory's vague. I can't remember.
Okay. Do you remember your mother coming to the house that day?
My mother.
Your grandmother, I'm sorry.
I can't remember.
When you gave the massage, how would your mother be dressed?
Depended on the day, but most of the time it was black leggings, pink tank top, and that was kind of a leisure outfit.
Okay. And were you able to tell whether or not she was wearing a bra?
Yes,
Was she wearing a bra usually when you gave her a massage or ever?
I could feel the straps at the top.
Okay. How often would you give a massage?
Probably every day if I was home.
Okay. Well, I mean, did you feel the bra straps every time you gave her a massage?
To my memory, yes.
Did you, you know Cynthia West, or I'm sorry, Cynthia Ward is?
Yes, I do.
Who is she?
She is with my dad right now.
It's your dad's girlfriend.
Yes.
When did you first meet her?
It was the day that my father was sent to jail. I met her at a Sherry's because I knew her from my dad's birthday party on the 18th.
So it's the first time you met her, at this gathering?
Yes.
Okay. And did you know who she was at that time?
I was introduced to her at that time.
Who was she introduced to you as?
It was a firefighter that used to work at his fire station.
Did you know that she was his girlfriend at the time?
At the time, no.
And so the next time you saw her was, you say, about a month and a half later when you picked up your father, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then after picking up your father, where did you go?
I just want to clarify, it wasn't when I picked him up, it was the day he went to the funeral. When he went to prison.
You say he was jailed briefly, right?
Yes.
Okay. That day you picked him up, right? Or let's just, okay,
Sorry.
that day, where did you go after that?
So I met Cynthia at a Sherry's before I went to Eugene.
Okay. Why did you go to Eugene?
I met with my grandparents just for comfort.
Oh, to go stay with them a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And you met with Cynthia at
A Sherry's.
Sherry's. And did you know who she was to your father at that time?
At that time, I just knew her as a friend.
Okay. Now, at some time your dad got charged with this offense, you know that, right?
Yes.
Before that, did you know that he had a girlfriend?
No.
Okay. Was it after that you found out?
It was after he got out of
Okay.
jail.
After that, how did you find out?
It was me, my grandma, and grandpa, but we picked him up off the side of the road after he was released.
Okay.
Went to Burgerville, and he told me there.
Okay. When you first heard about, you didn't hear it from him first, right? You did about the claim that he had a girlfriend. He was not the first person you heard that from. Is that right?
He was the first person.
Okay. So what did he tell you? You don't have to tell me what he said, but well, no. Did he tell you that he had a girlfriend?
I guess I heard it from the possibility of it from other people,
Okay.
but he confirmed it.
So there's rumors going around about him having a girlfriend.
Correct.
Okay. And did you ask him about that?
I asked him because I didn't believe it at the time.
Did he admit it?
He admitted it right there.
And have you seen Cynthia since that day?
I have
How often?
every day,
You living in the same place right now?
living with her right now.
Living with your dad?
I am.
After your mother passed, she still had her personal items around the house, right?
Yes.
What happened to those, if you know?
They were separated between me and my sister.
And do you know what happened to the rest of the stuff? If you don't, it's okay.
I don't
If you do,
remember.
do you recall anything about furniture getting removed from the house?
Yes, I remember.
Okay, did you play a part in that?
I remember before everything, we had furniture being changed out, or we had carpet being changed, and we put that off to the side for that.
Okay, and the carpet being changed or cleaned?
Cleaned, my apologies.
Okay. So what was the reason for the cleaning, if you know?
Objection relevance.
Oh, for real?
I believe we had cats barfing, puking underneath the bed.
Were you aware of a time when the bedroom furniture was removed and taken away from the house?
Before or after? Before or after everything?
But just, did you at some point become aware that the bedroom furniture had been moved out of the house?
Yes.
Okay. And did you play any part in removing that furniture?
No.
Were you living at the house were you at the house on 34th at that time?
I was.
And what, you played no part? You don't remember the discussions or anything?
I remember people helping with getting the bed frame out of there, but I was not part of it.
When, on Sunday morning the 6th, I'm going back there for just a second. When you first saw your mother, I know she had a headache, you said that earlier. Other than that, was she happy? How was she doing?
Very happy.
When you played cards with her, was she happy?
Yes.
How about when you left? Was she still that way?
When I left, she was so happy.
Your last message at 4 o'clock, did she still convey that feeling through her messages?
Very definitely.
Now you have pets at home. I know you have cats.
We used to.
Okay, how many cats did you have?
We had 2.
Okay, one yours?
Yes.
And whose was it?
Mine was a calico. It was Mittens, and then my sister had a cat named Weedle.
And you also had a dog?
Yes.
What was the dog's name?
It was Sadie.
Is Sadie with you at your house now?
Yes.
Whose dog was Sadie?
Objection relevance.
Irrelevant.
Pardon?
What's irrelevant?
If I can just lay a little foundation on it.
Okay, I'll suspend the objection for now. We'll wait for the foundation.
Do you know where the dog slept?
In the bed.
Whose bed?
My dad and mom's bed.
Now, were you able to observe over the years where on the bed the dog was?
Usually at the center, taking up the most room.
Was would you describe Sadie as like one of those really calm dogs that never says anything, or was she more of like a barker? What would she say?
She very vocal.
And what would make her vocal?
Passing strangers on the road.
Was she protective?
Yes.
Would you say she was closer to your mom or your dad?
Objection relevance.
Oh,
Neither. They close to both.
Were there ever any demonstrations of any Brazilian jiu-jitsu moves or anything like that at home?
No.
Your dad never showed you how to do one of those?
Nope.
Was there ever any talk about doing that?
No talk.
Were you ever aware of your father having any training and stuff?
Objection leading.
No training.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thanks, Dan.
Crawford, there, right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, she going to get the chair because she want a massage. She want to know what it feel like.
Right, Ted, I have a few questions for you, okay?
Okay.
Now, you mentioned on direct examination that your mother had a multi-day headache?
Multi?
Yes.
Yes.
You were interviewed by Detective Dean Tillson and Lauren Zapata on January 25th, 2024, correct?
Correct.
You never, in the entirety of that interview, mentioned your mom having a multi-day headache.
Okay.
Yes or no?
I don't remember.
You were also interviewed by them again for a follow-up on August 14th, 2024, correct?
Correct.
And you never, during that interview, mentioned a multi-day headache for your mom. Yes or no?
I can't remember.
And then you also talked to myself and an investigator with our office in December of this year, correct?
Correct.
And you never mentioned a multi-day headache on that day either.
I can't remember.
So on the 3 times you have been asked about this case, you have never once mentioned a multi-day headache.
I can't remember.
You did not contact the medical examiners with concerns that your mom had a multi-day headache, did you?
I didn't know I was supposed to.
You provided a massage to your mom on January 8th, correct?
Correct.
And you did not provide information that you gave your mom a massage when you were interviewed on January 25th, 2024 by law enforcement.
I did talk about massage.
On January 25th, 2024, did you talk about a massage with Detective Dean Telson?
I can't remember.
Did you talk about a massage on January 25th, 2024 with Detective Lawrence Zapata?
Can you say the date again?
On January 25th, 2024.
Okay, I can't remember.
In fact, you did not talk about the massage that you gave your mother until after the autopsy results. Is that correct? With law enforcement.
I can't remember the timeline.
Your dad, you picked up your dad and met Cynthia, and that would have been in March, correct?
Roughly.
You did not talk with law enforcement prior to that date about a massage, did you?
I can't remember.
You did not contact the ME's office at that time
I was
about a
not.
massage.
I was not told to.
Well, you're a grown man. You could have looked at the ME's office and called them, correct?
Correct.
So on January 8th, 2024, you gave your mom a massage. You were later interviewed by Detective Dean Telson and Lawrence Zapata on August 14th, 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that meeting was audio and video recorded, correct?
Audio and video.
And you knew that it was audio and video recorded, correct?
I did.
And you had that meeting at Mr. Walker's office, did you not?
Yes.
You wanted Mr. Walker there and present, correct?
Yes.
And you understand that Mr. Walker is your father's lawyer, correct?
Yes.
He's not your lawyer.
Yes.
And during that meeting, when you were demonstrating the massage, Mr. Walker interjected, did he not?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor. It's
Also,
also,
there's some issue I need to brought up, and close enough. Leave it on your chair. You can.
Pardon?
What's the objection?
well, Your Honor, it's, first of all, whether or not I was there, I don't know. I know they're trying to show that he's biased, I get that part. But as far as I interjected, she's not saying what the interjection is. It's not relevant. She's trying to make it look like I'm guiding him. She's got the video. She can show the video. But asking him if I interjected is a vague question. Perhaps we ought to do an offer of proof on exactly that question. It's simply not relevant. Makes it looks like I'm interfering in the investigation, and I was not.
Okay, so were you gonna ask him about what he interjected, assuming he remembers it?
Yes, Your Honor, but I was only gonna ask that question of, did he interject?
That's all you want to ask. Did he
Yes.
interject, and you want the answer there?
Yes, and
I
then I'm not
overrule
going
the objection. Bring in the jury. And I'll come back, I overruled the last objection for future questions.
Ted, and while you were at Mr. Walker's office on August 14th, 2024, when you were demonstrating, did Mr. Walker interject?
Yes,
You mentioned on direct examination, you brought up the term carotids, correct?
yes,
And you have EMT training, is that correct?
yes,
And so you know pressure on the carotids is not good.
no.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
Okay. You never, on January 25th, 2024, brought up anything about touching your mom's carotid arteries with Detective Dean Tellison, did you?
No.
And on January 25th, 2024, you did not tell Detective Zapata about touching your mother's carotid arteries.
No.
And when you were interviewed on August 14th, you did not mention anything about touching your mom's carotids to Detective Dean Tellison.
No.
You did not tell Detective Zapata on that date about touching your mom's carotids.
No.
And when myself and Mr. Hammond interviewed you in December of this year, you never mentioned touching your mom's carotids.
No.
And now, Ted, you gave a demonstration, correct?
I did.
Detective Dean Tellison. And you recall that that was audio and video recorded, correct?
Yes, I do recall.
And you consented to that being recorded,
I
correct?
consented.
And do you recall Detective Dean Tellison said, so Detective Dean Tellison asked you, is the thought that some of her injuries may have come from the massage, or was it a time that the massage happened? He asked you that, correct?
Do you mind clarifying?
I'll skip to the next question. You were asked by Detective Dean Tellison, do you remember how long this massage went on for, correct?
I remember him asking.
And you replied, usually 5-10 minutes, correct?
Roughly.
And that no one else was in the room when this happened, correct?
Correct.
And Detective Dean Tellison asked you about the amount of pressure you were using when he interviewed you on the 14th.
Yes.
And you said, I push harder and harder, but I always make sure I wasn't hurting the person.
Yes.
And then Detective Dean Tellison asked you a clarifying question. Had anybody that you ever given a massage to said, whoa, too much, ease back as far as pressure? He asked you that, correct?
Yes.
And you said, sure, and I'd back off, and okay, I'd be able to control that. You said that to Detective Dean Tellison on August 14th, 2020.
Do you mind saying that again?
You said, and sure, I'd back
No,
off.
this is improper impeachment, okay, it's not refreshing recollection.
And you told Detective Dean Tellison, sure, and I'd back off, and okay, I was able to control that.
Yes.
And so if you were hurting someone, you would pull back. You wouldn't just leave it there, correct?
I'd never keep pushing.
And the point of this massage was to provide your mother with comfort, correct?
Correct.
Because you loved your mom.
Yes, very much.
You love your mom.
Very much.
And Detective Dean Tellison asked you, during this particular massage, did Marcy give any indication of either too much pressure or discomfort? Do you recall that?
I do recall.
And you said, not to my recollection.
I don't remember that.
Detective Dean Tellison asked you, did you give any feedback during this massage? And you replied, no.
Did she give feedback?
Yes.
I remember her giving feedback.
But you, when you were interviewed about this on August 14th, 2024, when asked that same question, you said, no, she did not give feedback.
Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't.
Detective Dean Tellison asked you on August 14th, 2024, do you believe that the massage injured her or caused injuries? Do you recall him asking you that?
I don't remember.
Would it refresh your memory to look at that portion of the transcript from that day?
The transcript or the audio?
The transcript.
Sure.
And I'm showing you a portion of your transcript. If you could please read that and indicate whether or not it refreshes your recollection.
And you just want me to tell you if I remember this or not?
Yes.
I don't remember.
So you don't remember Detective Tellison asking you, had you ever caused Marcy any injuries during previous massages, to which you replied, never.
I remember him asking, but I don't remember answering that way.
Do you recall him asking, have any of your massages with anybody, parents, cousins, friends, whoever, caused any injuries to anyone that they told you about? And you replied, never, ever.
Maybe I answered in a way that I'd never injured anyone. And that was because I was holding back.
Would it refresh your mind to watch the audio-visual demonstration that you performed?
Sure.
Has that been marked as an exhibit? Not in the transcript. Can you mark it, please?
It's not required when you're asking somebody to refresh recollection to have the document marked as an exhibit.
I would ask, I would
Try
ask
to
that,
have it done.
I would ask that it be marked.
All right, now, Ted, would you be able to demonstrate the massage that you gave your mom on the CPR dummy there for us today?
Sure.
Can you show us exactly what you did?
Sure. You want me to come and face the jury?
That'd be great, so we can see.
Usually I'd start at the shoulders. And I use my thumbs, kind of pressing in with the front fingers and back. And then sometimes I go to the side and kind of do some circles on the side. Sometimes I'd be kind of doing circles on both sides of the spine. And this could be with fingers, knuckles, or it could be with my elbow. I would also do knuckles here at the neck. I would also do elbow here and behind the carotid here. And then I'd also do it right about here on the neck. And that was the extent of what I do every time.
And you say that that's what you would do every time?
Every time. Not in the same order, but right above there.
So your testimony today is that you would do this every time?
Every time.
Okay, let's just see.
Sure.
Now, Ted, you would recognize the recording of your massage if you were to see it today in court.
Yes.
And you would recognize it based on your appearance and the date and where it was located.
Yes.
I'm going to just show you a brief second portion for you to make sure you can identify it, okay?
I'm sorry, count the big exhibit.
It's 185, Your Honor. Now, Ted, this is you on August 14th, 2024, correct?
Correct.
And that's Mr. Walker's office.
That is Mr. Walker's office.
And like we've mentioned before, you are aware that you are being audio and video recorded.
I was aware.
And you consented to that.
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, move to publish 185.
Are you looking to admit it?
I move to admit and move to publish. Your Honor.
No objection. 185 is admit. Go ahead.
All right, so video is going. Ted West is going to demonstrate the massage given to Marcy West on January 7th, I believe. Okay. So whenever you're ready, please.
Kind of the general, it's kind of hard to see from your point of view, but I would kind of press and just go in a circular motion on the back, trying to find those knots.
Okay.
And then I would also take my knuckles and I would kind of go in a circular motion here. And then there's also knots that I would find kind of back of the armpit area, pressing in. Trying to find that there. And sometimes her actual arms I would kind of massage as well. Of course, there's no arms here, but that's the general idea of what I would do. Also, I believe I mentioned this, I would get here. I'm more comfortable with my right arm, having that control there, so I would do this. And sometimes I would just kind of brace myself or brace her, I guess, and I would control it that way.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And were there any other areas that you can remember from that massage that you had like touched or targeted?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. And when you were using the elbow, that was more on top of the shoulder, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I can't recollect if I did it this day, but sometimes I would kind of push in lower on the back, just maybe halfway down.
Okay.
Sometimes there would be pain there, so I would help there.
Okay.
And Ted, just to be clear, you're describing what you generally do. This is what you recall generally doing that day, but it's not exactly a complete reenactment of what you did. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so I cannot remember exactly what I did, but that is most of the time what I would do.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
Regarding that.
Okay. And the pressure with the knuckles was on the side of the neck, is that correct?
Yeah, kind of back to side here. Sometimes it would be lower.
Okay.
Kind of like that. Just
Okay.
something like that.
Perfect. Was there anything on either like the head or the back of the neck?
I didn't do it this day, but sometimes I would grab the back of the jaw, or maybe not the jaw, but behind the jaw, and I would kind of pull up, relieving some stress there.
Okay.
But it's just another technique that I've learned over time.
Awesome. I don't think I have any other questions. Do you?
No, not specifically with the mannequin.
Okay. Mr. Walker? Okay. So we will end the video recording. It's 9:19.
And that's it. You've been living with your dad and Cynthia in Estacada, correct?
Correct.
I have no questions.
Read it.
Ted, you've been interviewed several times by Detectives Zapata and Tellison, correct?
Correct.
And you were interviewed by the prosecutor and her,
Question meeting.
by the prosecutor and her investigator, correct?
Yes.
When you first met with Detectives Zapata and Tellison, were you asked if you gave a massage during that first meeting?
Was I asked if I gave a massage?
Right. You earlier testified that you don't recall telling them. Do you recall being asked? The first one.
Sorry, counsel, let him answer the question.
I I don't remember him asking. I believe I brought it up.
And during that first one, do you recall being asked if you had done something to her carotid artery during that first meeting?
I don't remember talking about the carotid.
Okay. Do you remember ever being asked if you had given her a massage or anything like that before that meeting in my office?
Never.
And you heard me interject. I was just asking you if you had, is that what you generally did? What you showed us here today, is that a general massage that you do?
General, yes.
Is it the same every single time?
It's not the same every single time.
Do you keep a log of exactly what areas you touch each time? Do you keep a log of the areas you touch every time?
No, it would be silly.
Did I interfere with them taking a video of you voluntarily showing that massage?
No.
Now, you were asked about saying you would do it harder and harder and you wouldn't hurt, correct?
Correct.
You're not trying to hurt anybody, right?
Never.
Were there times when people would indicate, that's too hard?
Yes.
And then what would you do?
I'd let up, go about halfway back.
You're not aware if you've ever injured anybody.
I am not aware.
You're not trying to hurt people, are you?
No.
Now, the demonstration you gave in the video at my office on August 14, 2024, that was in regard to a massage you had done on January 7th of 2024, correct?
Say the last date one more time, sorry.
January 7th, your last date.
Yes.
Yes. Is your memory really clear what you did at that time?
No.
Okay. Is your memory completely clear today?
It's less clear than it was.
Okay. And has anyone ever made you aware that you caused a bruise?
No.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Of course.
No.
So unfortunately, that's all we have. There's about 3 hours of good testimony, right? Oh, I can't deal. Like, I hate them piecing stuff together. I would love to see all the ins and outs and everything of this trial, but they just not gonna let us. They don't love us like that. They're like, no. We're not gonna let you. So nobody has any reasonable doubt, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you got some reasonable doubt still. Or, I don't know, wait a minute. If you have reasonable doubt now. I can't say still because I know y'all came in and he was guilty. Since we have heard from another another ME who signed off on the first ME information. We done heard from the daughter who says that she gets headaches all the time. She did not keep a clean house. And she complained of these headaches all the time. And she wore a bra all the time. Okay, so we got that. Then what else did we have that came out? We got the son that likes to give very deep tissue massages to his mom and everybody else, his cousins, to anybody that he can think of that might need it, except for his girlfriend. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if he can give his girlfriend that or not. So my question to you guys would be what do we think? I can't believe the daughter and the brother testified on the dad's side. And the brother stays in the house with the dad and the new girlfriend. So that's real interesting too. Oh, I guess I can tell from the way it says guilty on our poll. How can you let your children lie? I don't know, but they definitely got up there and they told the tale about the bras and the massages. Doing the most, right? So I think that took us through a good portion of the day. I was trying to see if there was anything else out here that will be worth us taking a gander at. Lynn said that line. I just can't believe they would do that against that mom. Like, golly. I mean, to the point that he up here making videos. That one trial, I don't think we didn't watch it. I don't even know if they covered it gavel to gavel. Where the lady, she got a retrial disguised as a suicide redrum for Susan Embert. Well, they found her guilty times 2. So yeah, I think they found her guilty again today. So whatever she tried to play, it didn't happen. Not at all. So that was a bust. Whatever she thought. Let's see. So she got convicted again. There was a case in Georgia. Just so y'all know. I can't, yeah, Susan Ambert. I believe that's her name. So it looks like we'll be back in court. Tomorrow we will go ahead and cover more of our YNW Melly case. I guess with the hopes that it may go to trial. Not sure. On that part, we'll go to trial next week. I was emailing Lisa while we were kind of waiting, and she was saying she don't know. They got a lot of stuff that they still got to hash out. I don't know the legal jumbo that they got to go through, but they got some more jumbo to go through in order to get this case going. If they're gonna get it going or not. Yeah, it was definitely a bust. But we'll continue, or we can either continue that tomorrow, or if y'all want, we can do the Aaron Hernandez. I don't really care. It don't matter to me. I like them all. So unless it's something else, we got to keep ourselves busy until Tuesday. Maybe I should have put a survey out for that. Let me do that and see which ones y'all want to do. Because maybe y'all don't want to watch the Melly. Maybe we want to watch Aaron Hernandez. I was also thinking about doing the Jennifer Crumbly one, you know, with the you know, but that's a school shooting too. So I'm like, well, dang, if I'm gonna do that school shooting, then I might as well do the other school shooting. If that makes sense. But I guess one is different. I don't know if one different than the other or not. Let me see. It's upstairs. Mhm. Okay, so I put out a survey. So if you lurking, working and lurking, or lurking and twerking, or whatever you doing, go ahead and just say what you want to do. If we want to do anything for a couple hours, I know that we, like I said, we don't go back into court until Tuesday. If y'all want, I don't know, because I don't think anybody wants to really do the school shoot. I don't know. Do y'all want to rewire? I don't know. I have we can you talk about with the kid pew pew the teacher. You talking about the Jennifer one? Let me see. I know Ethan. His name was Ethan. Let me see. I can't even remember. I know he did something. I know it was a school shooting. Let me see. Yeah, in his school shooting, he unalived 4 children and injured 7 people, including a teacher. But that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if we go back to school shootings, then we might as well. I don't know if they had to talk about the. I did watch that trial, and they did have to talk about the school shooting because remember they got to prove that these children were unalive and how they were unalive. So they did talk about it. But I was about to say, did they even talk about it in that one? But they did. Yeah, unless there's another trial that y'all could think of. I was just going off the list that SD Super Surf Girl sent me. You said, oh golly, no. Yeah, besides Shabusiness, that's the only other thing that I could think of. She got Shabusiness on there, and I don't think I could take Shabusiness at all. Savannah, let's see here. Y'all know right now they're doing I'm just trying to see if there's anything else out here. They doing that Charlie Kirk thing. That's the only thing I see that's live right now. I definitely don't want. I'll wait to see when that goes to trial. They like doing too much for that one for me. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll stay away from the school one. I kind of figured that much. Where is SD Supergirl? She must be playing games. Okay, you say that one is not that sad? Okay. I think all of them are maddening. That was the case that we were supposed to start until I found out about this case, this Uvalde case. And then I was like, because we didn't have anything to do last week. And I was like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and start that one. You said not that. You talk about the Crumbly one, or you talk about the one that's sad and is the Uvalde one? Well, I know everybody thinks the Uvalde one is very, very sad. They both sad. I don't know what the heck people be thinking. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where SD at. I ain't no telling what she doing. I ain't no telling at all. Maybe she just sitting up there ignoring me. I don't think she fell asleep just this early. But then again, who knows with her? Yeah, some of this stuff I just ugh. I want to meet that. I want to talk to her. Oh, okay, yeah. In the way that he unalived himself. Yeah. Um, I don't know. The only thing I could think of, because the firefighter trial that I think we caught up on that. Oh, look, they said this guy took a plea deal today. Oh, I remember seeing his video. I remember seeing his stuff.
Do you want to have a plea waiver form?
We have, Your Honor. The state has reviewed it. My approach.
And of course, I asked for these because not only does it contain all of the rights, but it also lays out the negotiated plea with the.
Is that Jeremy? This case in Florida? Dang, Jeremy, he represented Alicia. Then he went to represent Milagros.
Please raise your right hand. Clerk will administer the oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. State if I miss anything in the colloquy, please let me know, or in this sentence, please let me know. Yes, sir. Would you prefer that I call you Derek or Mr. Rose? What are you more comfortable with?
Derek is fine now.
Okay, thank you.
Y'all remember this guy? Y'all remember this team right here? I remember him, but he about to take a plea deal, which is probably a good thing. Yeah, he about to take a plea deal. He wait a minute. Let me I can show you real quick. I took myself all the way out the doggone studio. Wait a minute. Jeremy is everywhere. Jeremy representing everybody. Anybody that do a crime, he representing them. Or doing some lawyer stuff down there, and he just represented Alicia. Wow, he a busy guy. All right, now where did it go? Now I gotta go into my history. Sorry. Okay, so his name was Derek Rosa. You know, when it kept going through my thing, I kept thinking it was Derek Rose. I'm so silly. Here we go, right here.
I woke up, went to the kitchen. I grabbed one of the kitchen knife, and then I went to her room, and then I ate. It's okay, you can say, hey, kill her. You killed her? All right.
So that was him confessing that he had killed her. This was he was 15 years old at the time, 8th grade honor roll student. I don't know what the heck, what was going on. Yeah, he killed his mom while she was asleep. I think they even had like the after effect of him. I was trying to see if I could see the little video. They had a video afterwards, but I don't see it.
Thank you. As sworn you under oath, your lawyers tell me that you wish to change your plea today, and that requires me to talk to you for a while. Okay? I'm going to ask that you respond to my questions out loud and in full words. Are you good with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. If at any time you have any questions, just raise your hand or say so. I'll let you talk with Ms. Riello so that we satisfy whatever your questions are. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now some of these questions are going to sound dumb, but I'll work with you because I'm required to ask them in the way that I ask them. Okay? All right. For starters, are you Derek Rosa, who was born on August 26, 2010?
Yes, sir.
Good. I have to establish that I'm the right person. Okay? And you are the defendant that's charged in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. Are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs as you sit there right now?
No, Your Honor.
Do you take any medications that will keep you from understanding what's going on around you?
No, Your Honor.
Do you mind if I ask, are you taking any medications now?
No, Your Honor.
I know that you're 15 years old.
Yes,
I know
sir.
that you were in the 8th grade when you first came into jail, but you've been getting classes with Miami-Dade teachers since you've been with us, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Because I need to inquire as to whether you feel comfortable reading and writing the English language. Do you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. I ask that because I've got this acknowledgement and waiver of rights form that I have right here. And it looks like it's got your signature on it. Did you sign this?
Yes, Your Honor.
And normally when I see a document that's signed by somebody, it means to me that you've read it, that you understand it, and what you didn't understand, you would have asked your lawyer about. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. It also means I'm not going to read the whole thing out loud. Because as you'll learn in life, you sign it, you own it, okay? But this is an acknowledgement and waiver of rights form. It talks about the rights that you give up when you enter a plea of guilty, like you're doing right now. But I'm going to go over some of them with you. We'll get to that in a minute. Have you had enough time to talk with your lawyers about what we're doing here today and about your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have they answered all of your questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you happy with the work that's been done for you by your lawyers in this case?
I'm very happy.
Good. Yes, they've done a lot. They've done a lot of work, a lot of hard work for you. Now, you were indicted by a grand jury for first-degree murder. The state and your lawyers have worked out an arrangement where your plea here today would be to the charge of second-degree murder. And they have proposed that they're going to asked me, if you plead guilty to that charge, to sentence you to 25 years in the Florida State Prison with all credit for time served. That would be followed by 20 years of probation. Now, this form says 20 years reporting. Is it going to be 10 and 10?
Yes, Judge, it's going to be 10 years reporting probation, followed by 10 years administrative probation.
I'll explain that now. Yes, it'd be 20 years of probation, but the first 10 years will be where you report to a probation officer once a month. And a special condition on that is when you get out of jail, you'll report to court. The probation officer will put it on in court, and the judge will appoint a doctor or two to do a complete psychological examination and recommend any treatment. If the treatment is for residential, it'll be limited to 6 months. Okay? Because we're not going to put you in some other place to be incarcerated. But I think it's important that doctors get a look at you when you get out to see if any treatment you need. So that's going to be a condition of the first 10 years of probation. After 10 years, the next 10 years of probation will be what we call administrative or non-reporting, as one condition. Don't get arrested. Okay. Do you understand this plea? The 25 followed by 10 and 10?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has anybody promised you that something different than that was going to happen if you pled guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Is anybody forcing you, threatening you, or making you enter this plea against your will?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the rights that you're waiving when you plead guilty. And those are all the rights that are part of the trial. Because you have a right to go forward to a trial with your lawyers there next to you, fighting hard for you. You have the right to go to this trial and have a jury decide if you're guilty or not. At a trial, the state would be held to the burden or the task, their job would be to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the highest standard that we give to a jury in the United States. That's part of the rights, the lawyer, the jury, the heightened standard, and your lawyers would have the opportunity to confront and question all the witnesses that are presented against you, basically to test the evidence, if you will. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. At a trial, you would have the right to testify if you wanted to, explain yourself. You would have the right to bring in witnesses and tell your side of the story. If you decided not to present witnesses or testify, you could assert your right to remain silent, and I would tell a jury they could not hold their silence against you. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And finally, if you were found guilty at a trial and you received a sentence, you would have the right to take the case to a higher court where it's reviewed by 3 judges who look at everything we've done here to determine whether any mistakes were made that would require a new trial. We call that an appeal. So all of these things I'm talking about, appeals, juries, confrontation, lawyers, reasonable doubt, all of these things are protections that you get by way of trial. Because generally speaking, we don't want people to get found guilty if they're not guilty. So we put all these safety things in place to try and be as certain as we can. But those are your rights as part of the trial. If we do this plea, we're not going to have a trial, and you give those rights up. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a United States citizen, entry of this plea subjects you to deportation to your native country. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you get in trouble again, this case can be used against you to make your next case, if you were to come back with another case, it could make your next case more serious, either by the degree of the offense or by the amount of time you could be forced to serve in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm required to ask this one. If this is a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, or if you've ever been convicted of an offense like that, you will be reviewed at the end of your prison sentence for potential commitment as a civil sexual offender. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there anything additional that the state believes should be asked as part of the colloquy of the defendant under the rules?
Yes, Judge, just a few things. One of the requested conditions is that as part of probation, that the defendant have no contact with Frank Ramos and Frank Ramos's daughter by the initials AR. That will be a condition of reporting probation and administrative probation.
Any other conditions that I missed?
As for our conditions, no, I do have the score sheet and the information to file in the court.
You're right, I did not mention that. Let me do those two things now, and then I'll cover anything else that I missed. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. One of the things I missed when I talked to you about what the sentence was, is that one of the conditions of the probation is going to be a no contact order. And you heard with Frank Ramos or the minor child. Do you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, because that's a part of this plea. And also, I am required to inform you through the course of this, and I just left it out, that someone charged like you are with this offense could face anywhere from 246 months, which is, as I did, 20 and a half years, up to life in prison. Okay, that's what we call our guidelines range. And also, if you were to violate your probation, you would be subject, depending on what happens, up to a life in prison sentence. So those are the guidelines ranges: 246 months, up to life. Anything else needed to be done in this case?
No, Judge, can I pass forward those documents?
You sure can.
Thank you. And the information has been signed and sworn to.
All right, so I've gone over all these rights. The state has filed a new information, a second-degree murder. Do you waive any defects in the form of this, Mr. Yellow and Mr. Lopez?
No, Judge.
Okay, thank you. And I will ask you at this time, would you like to enter a plea of guilty to the charge of murder? Well, you know what? In a factual basis now, or I'm going to ask you this. Do you wish to enter a plea of guilty to the charge of murder in the second degree with a weapon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask the prosecutor if he would present to us now a factual basis for this plea.
Yes, Judge. On October 12th, 2023, the body of Lorena Garcia was discovered in her bedroom. Ms. Garcia was discovered to have had multiple stab wounds to her body, to include her back, her facial area, her neck, and her throat. The medical examiner determined that the cause of death was multiple stab wounds and the manner of death was homicide. The investigation led to the defendant, Derek Rosa. Derek Rosa was in fact the person who contacted 911 to report the killing. The investigator spoke to Derek Rosa, the defendant, after reading his Miranda rights, and there the defendant did explain what occurred, and he did admit to stabbing and killing his mother on that evening. There is some additional corroborating evidence of what occurred, including evidence that was discovered in his cell phone. There was evidence of searches having been conducted that suggested he was researching the best way to kill someone, and specifically looked for the carotid artery. Additionally, evidence does show that after the murder, the defendant did make contact with a friend by phone. His initials are CG. He admitted to CG that he had killed his mother, and he had also sent photos of the body to his mother. There is other evidence that photos were sent using the Discord application to friends and students from his school. The knife was processed for DNA, and the knife handle, a YSDR profile was developed. The YSDR profile on the handle of the knife matches the YSDR profile of the defendant. There was no other male profile on the handle of the knife, only that of the defendant. So that would be some of the evidence that the state would submit to a jury should we proceed to trial.
Derek, you have heard what Mr. Boris just said was the evidence that they would intend to produce at a trial, and evidence that you were the person who killed Irene Garcia, your mother. Is what he told me accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, that's what I need to know from you. I want to make sure that you have a proper factual basis and that you're willing to do it in this case.
that got to be a mess. And that's what I'm saying. When the prosecution team and the defense, they agree on a certain amount of time for a person, it's very rare that you'll see a judge not honor that agreement. That's what I'm talking about in our all-paired regional trial. Yeah, she ain't getting no time. I don't think she getting no time, but we'll definitely see. I don't think she getting no time at all. Me personally. But we shall see when it comes down to it. All right. Well, I think that'll take care of everything that we're going to do today. I will send out a notification if something comes up. And I guess I'll decide. I guess I'll figure out what we'll cover, or if we're going to cover anything, or what we're going to do. Okay. You say, does he remember? I think he do. I think he do, Sally. I think he do, Sally. I see somebody put on a thing, don't do shit. Yeah, that may be the thing. You just come back in on Monday. Find something for us to do on Monday. Take the weekend out. Yeah, I don't think she get no time at all. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to look at this Romika Meeks case, and it's Holly. I am like so sad for all these young girls involved in this case, but oh, what a mess. No, they have put themselves in for Mr. Carlos. That's the baby daddy name, Carlos. But yeah, I'll bring y'all more information on that as I get some more information on that. I don't know if I'm gonna just do a video on it or if I want to do a live on it. I haven't figured it out, but yeah, very sad case. And I can't figure it out. So sad. All right, guys. Well, I will let you guys go. You definitely have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. If we don't touch base until Monday or Tuesday of next week, maybe I'll do some Tent Chronicles or something just to tap in with y'all. But other than that, thank you guys for hanging out. We covered a couple things. If I see anything in regards to the firefighter one that comes through, because they be piecemealing and stuff. If I see anything extra, then I may put something together for that, only because I'm interested to continue to watch that with you guys, of course. Other than that, I'll see you guys out here on these YouTube streets. Let's get it together.
When Sweet Pea taps in, the courtroom lights go bright. Trials running long, but the family's here every night. Mars on patrol, chat is showing out. This little YouTube corner's what community's about. Therapists steady holding down the floor. Behind the scenes magician keeping peace like never before. A banner king, a rule keeper too. Every channel dreams of a mind like you. Jason walks in and the ladies lose control. Down to earth king with the warmest soul. Film freaks, kindness, man, is always on display. Fair and sweet and cheering folks along the way. And Maria from SA keeps the laughter rolling free. Joking, shining, keeping spirits where they need to be. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet Pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. We debate, we laugh, we lift each other higher. This courtroom crew is everything we admire. Yeah, no matter what the case or file, we're forever take it to trial. Take it to trial. Pretty brown girl, she'll tell you what's true. Sharp as a gavel, funniest in the room. Dr. Rachel pops in while she's busy running lines. Speaks her mind every time, cuts through like a knife. And Paula brings the energy, jokes flying fast. Helping Sweet Pea backstage, making every stream last. And Zach's chosen, causing chaos just for fun. The resident cheater, but we love him, everyone. Here comes Maddie, handsome, quick with the line. A comedy sniper with the perfect timing. And Lynn with the always loyal, always true. If true crime news drops, he brings it to the room. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. We debate, we laugh, we lift each other higher. This courtroom crew is everything we admire. Yeah, no matter what the case or file, we're forever taken to trial. Us trending replay queen, holding down the algorithm like a machine. SD's razor sharp, loyal through and through. And yes, she adores chasing nothing new. Drunky the bear with the white claws, way managing volunteers like she runs the whole land. Cynthia brings inside, would take sharp and steady. Donna keeps it real, 911 and always ready till he burns the fat queen. Receipts on tap. She blends right into the pack. Tennessee, hard-lived, tries to support her with pride. Melly shows up a family for cooking for his dog. A steady carrying presence through the courtroom fog. In Brooklyn in the house, always bringing that spark. Lighting up the chat like a shout in the dark. Baca loves her gram, speaks truth when it's time. Micrograms with metaphors straight up sublime. Barbara, biggest supporter, heart kind and vast. Looking for missing kids, hope to truly last. Only fan from Singapore, flag name but sweet. Still shows up with love every time he takes a seat. And even the part-timers keep this place alive. Curvier, Irish Amy, Capri Law, Hellcat, our tribe. Hearts wide open, stories shared, holding space because we care. From every corner of the world we climb to spend these nights together, one trial at a time. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. Mods and shadows, yeah, this love is something rare. A courtroom crew with hearts beyond compare. No matter what the case or file, we're forever taken to trial. It's a family, and we couldn't ask for more.
All right, guys, enjoy your weekend.
Peace.